Chapter 1343. 1343, Chapter 1343, Ancient Sound of Alter Qin did not hide anything from Xiao Yuelon. The main reason was that he had a clear conscience when doing things. We couldn't contact Sister Yalin before. Fortunately, we saw her just now. She only said that there was a problem with a magic mirror. Xiao Yuelon said. She was only curious as to why Qin would sign a soul contract with Xiang Yalin. When they were heading towards a mountain-like altar, Xiao Yuelon used her penetration divine ability to enter. Her cultivation was higher than Qin Yun's, and she had more energy in her body. Not long after, she led Qin Yun through the thick rocks surrounding the altar and into the altar. Xiao Yuelon seemed to have entered this altar before. She brought Qin Yun through the mountain rocks and entered the altar. The light carriage arrived at a pitch-black passageway. She controlled a few glowing stones to float around, illuminating the square corridor. I was only here before. Xiao Yuelon looked ahead and said, "The center of the altar should be in front of us." "Yuelon, how is Xiang Yalin? Is she a very powerful inscription master?" Qin Yun asked. He had only heard about Xiang Yalin from Shimin Qinglian. He did not know that she was an inscription master. "In Grandmaster level," Xiao Yuelon nodded and said, "She possesses a mysterious flower totem. The flower totem fragrance on her body is very special. Although I have only smelled it twice, I still remember it. Generally speaking, the flower totem on her body will only release fragrance under special circumstances." Qin Yun was slightly alarmed and asked, "What special circumstances?" Xiao Yuelon frowned. "I have smelled the flower totem fragrance twice before. I only smelled it when I was bathing with Sister Yalin. Sister Yalin said that as long as she takes off her clothes and feels shy, she will release this flower fragrance." "You often bathe with her? Did she take advantage of you?" Qin Yun chuckled. "I'm afraid that she will eat your tofu," Xiao Yuelon said lightly. "We are both women. What are you worried about?" Qin Yun asked Mo to come out and tell Xiao Yuelon what had happened. Qin Yun could not say it, but Mo could. Mo knew what had happened. "Yuelon, this is what happened. You won't be jealous, right?" Qin Yun caressed Xiao Yuelon's beautiful, jade-like face. "Of course I'm jealous." Xiao Yuelon snorted lightly. "When I go back, I want to bathe with Sister Yalin and the others. I want to anger you to death." Qin Yun said with a smile. "Where do you plan on bathing?" "I want to go too. I want to supervise them so that they don't take advantage of you." "Die." Xiao Yuelon glared at Qin Yun and cursed. After Qin Yun stored Mo back into the Nine-Yang Divine Spirit, he asked, "Yuelon, when you returned to the Guanghan Palace, did you ask little Mei Lian about her memory loss?" Ruling and Wulon all wanted to find little Mei Lian, but little Mei Lian went into seclusion. Before she went into seclusion, she said that she had lost her memories and wanted to find a reason. Xiao Yuelon looked at Qin Yun and said, "Little Mei Lian is more sensitive to memories. She should have known long ago. I'm worried that she will injure her soul." Qin Yun sighed with a worried expression. "Don't worry. She knows how to protect her soul better than us." Xiao Yuelon pulled Qin Yun's hand and shouted softly, "Let's hurry inside and take a look." Xiao Yuelon was stronger than Qin Yun and shouldered the heavy responsibility of protecting Qin Yun. Therefore, she walked at the very front. She held a white saber in her hand and released her mental power to scan the surroundings. "Yuelon, do you think Sister Yalin will hate me? She probably doesn't know about my relationship with you." Qin Yun said, "I'm worried that the next time I see her, I'll be hacked to death by her. The reason why she didn't attack me before was because of the soul contract restriction. I don't know about that. It's best if you don't provoke her. Fortunately, you are her savior, so she shouldn't do anything to you. At most, she will feel a little uncomfortable in her heart." Xiao Yuelon said, "If you took advantage of her in that situation, then I wouldn't be able to save you. You shouldn't be that kind of person, right?" "No." Qin Yun curled his lips and said, "I never take advantage of girls, but I've been taken advantage of quite a few times." Xiao Yuelon brought Qin Yun to a door at the end of the corridor. She knocked on the door with her saber and turned her head. She used her saber to stroke a strand of hair on her forehead and asked, "Who has taken advantage of you?" Yuan, are you going to avenge me? Very good, Qin Yun said with smile. That ice mother tigress Xian Rujing. She has taken advantage of me. You must teach her a lesson. Sister Rujing? How is this possible? She is an elder of our Guanghan Palace. Moreover, she is the divine envoy of Ice Goddess. She has done a lot for our Guanghan Palace, allowing us to obtain great amount of resources and divine liquid. How can she take advantage of you? Xiao Yuelon said with disdain. She forcefully kissed me. Qin Yun felt very wronged and said, Yuelon, she bullied me to no end. You must help me teach her a lesson. Sister Rujing is very good to us. How can she do such a thing? Did you bully her first? Xiao Yuelon intently looked at Qin Yun. Qin Yun spread out his hands, feeling very depressed in his heart. He cursed the ice mother tigress, Xian Rujing, in his heart. She actually forced his wife to drink so much soup. Let's not talk about this. Let's go in. Qin Yun wanted to open the door, but was pulled back by Xiao Yuelon. Xiao Yuelon said, There might be danger. Let me handle it. What danger can there be? Qin Yun is not a bit afraid because he feels that the floating cloud heavenly seal is inside. The stone door is very heavy. Xiao Yuelon released very strong 9th layer immortal power to push it open. Originally, this corridor was rather shady, but after the stone door was pushed open, an incomparably scorching hot aura spread out. It's very hot. Xiao Yuelon promptly retreated to Qin Yun's side, released a barrier, and enveloped them. Most dreadful thing is that a ferocious flame fiercely rushed out. Hoo-hoo-hoo. Qin Yun heard a burst of howling sound. A flame rushed out from the stone door. Xiao Yuelon and Qin Yun are inside the energy barrier. They are not affected by the flame. Oh no, the flame rushed out. Xiao Yuelon really did not expect that the flame would directly pierce through the sealed passage. There are many rocks at the bottom of the altar, but now a flame suddenly rushed out and broke through the rocks. Originally, there were many people in the vicinity. After seeing the flame, it immediately attracted many people's attention. In just a short period of time, bursts of boiling cheers resounded in the vicinity of the altar. Many people immediately rushed down. Everyone stood on both sides of the flame, planning to wait for the flame to extinguish before going in. Very soon, the flame disappeared and a cave entrance appeared. Although it is steaming hot, those who can come here are either upper immortals or Shin immortals. Now, they all boldly walked in. If they walk in front, they might be able to obtain even more treasures. Of course, only the courageous people dare to walk in front. The majority of people are afraid of death. Someone came in. Xiao Yuelon and Qin Yun hurriedly entered the door and closed it. They are now inside a very large space inside the altar. Qin Yun has entered many altars' interior. They are all very spacious, like a luxurious hall. Although the altar's interior is very large, compared to the entire altar, it is still very small. Xiao Yuelon took out a large number of illuminating stones. After illuminating the hall, she said, It's very small. This altar is like a huge mountain. The interior of the hall is only 100 meters wide. Qin Yun took out his compass. After determining a direction, he said, Yuelon, over there. Xiao Yuelon also doesn't know what Qin Yun's compass is for, but now she can only go over with Qin Yun to take a look. The hall inside the altar is surrounded by stone walls. There are many runes engraved on them. They're all bright runes. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon followed the compass to the wall. They touched everywhere, but didn't find any door. Try using the mysterious penetration divine ability. Xiao Yuelon used the mysterious penetration divine ability and extended her hand to touch the wall. She couldn't go through. Seeing that Xiao Yuelon didn't succeed, Qin Yun used the compass to touch the stone wall. The stone wall suddenly fluctuated like water ripples. What the hell is this thing? Xiao Yuelon looked at the compass in shock. At this moment, the stone door they came in from is slowly being pushed open. Let's go in first, Qin Yun hurriedly said and pulled Xiao Yuelon into the wall that looks like rippling water. After they entered, the wall returned to its original appearance. At this moment, the stone door was pushed open and a large group of people immediately squeezed in. As for Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon, after passing through the wall, they saw a staircase leading to the bottom. Why is it going down? Qin Yin took out a stone and threw it at the staircase. He wanted to see if there were any mechanisms. Let's go down and talk. Xiao Yuelon said. There shouldn't be any danger. When we came in, we only encountered that flame. Qin Yin nodded. I'll walk in front. Xiao Yuelon said. She walked down the stairs and even walked in front. This way, even if they encountered danger, Qin Yin would still have time to react. Yuelon, the compass in my hand can find something. That thing is very important to me. It's called Floating Cloud Heavenly Seal. I originally thought it was in the Heavenly Province or the Earth Province. Who knew that after arriving near the altar, the compass's movement would be very big? Qin Yin said, I will help you find it. Xiao Yuelon nodded. Qin Yin doesn't want to follow behind. He quickly walked to the front and pulled Xiao Yuelon's lily-white hand. He said with a smile, I want to pull you. This way, I can be more at ease. Although Xiao Yuelon hasn't recovered her memories, her feelings for Qin Yin are the same as before. She is always very concerned and wants to protect Qin Yin. The staircase is very long and leads to very deep underground. Although Qin Yin knows that the floating cloud heavenly seal is below, he wants to know who this altar belongs to even more. This altar seems to be more powerful than the sun altar. Xiao Yuelon said, I entered the great desert sacred city's sun altar before. I feel that this altar is more mysterious than the sun altar. Qin Yin also has this kind of feeling. What is the sun altar? Suddenly, an elderly voice rang out from below, carrying with it an echo. Chapter 1344. 1344 Chapter 1344 Tian, Dao, Zi Qin Yin, and Xiao Yuelon looked at each other and became even more vigilant. They promptly mobilized all the power in their body and prepared to fight. When they arrived, they knew that this altar is very ancient, and it was completely sealed before. But now a voice suddenly arrived. Senior, who are you? Qin Yin shouted. He suspects that the person below is most likely someone who is sealed here. Moreover, he is someone from ancient times. A person that existed in ancient times. How strong would he be? What made Qin Yin most apprehensive is that people from ancient times can actually live in a mortal desolate for so long. Tell me about the sun altar. I'm very curious. That aged voice came again. Moreover, it is accompanied by laughter. I know you are afraid of me. Don't worry. If I wanted to attack you, you would already be dead. Qin Yin and Xiao Yuelon now know that this mysterious old man is very strong. Senior, let's go down and tell you at the same time. Qin Yin said. He suddenly felt that the old man below might know about his past life. All right, that voice came. Qin Yin and Xiao Yuelon quickly walked up the stairs and told the old man about the sun altar. After the old man finished listening, he said, So that is the sun altar. It was not called that in the past. What was it called in the past? Xiao Yuelon asked. It should have been called Earth Altar in the past. The old man laughed. Anyway, no matter what it is called, those altars belong to the 9 sun sects. Qin Yin suddenly recalled the matter of the sun core, because legend has it that the sun core is hidden in the 9 desolate land. Senior, do you know about the sun core? Qin Yin asked. Of course I know, but I can't tell you. The old man said with a smile. Not long after, Qin Yin and Xiao Yuelon arrived at the bottom. Below is a dark cave. After Xiao Yuelon controlled the light-emitting stone to illuminate the cave, they saw the old man. The old man is sitting cross-legged on a light golden stone. He is wearing white clothes, his white hair is flowing down his back. His eyes are closed under his slender white eyebrows, and he has a bit of white beard on his chin. This old man does not look very old. There are only some wrinkles on his face. His skin is slightly white and has a trace of rosy color. He looks very spirited. After Qin Yin came down, he looked around to see where the floating cloud heavenly seal was. Senior, how long have you been here? Xiao Yuelon asked. Many years. The elder slowly opened his eyes. When he saw Qin Yin, he revealed a look of surprise. He asked in puzzlement, It's you? Qin Yin was alarmed. He knew that the elder must have seen his past life. I am reincarnated. I don't have the memories of my previous life. However, I have inherited some things from my previous life, Qin Yin promptly said. As he spoke, he took out his compass. The old man is very strong. As for how strong he is, Qin Yin and Xiao Yuelon are unable to determine. They only knew that if the old man wanted to kill them, he only needed a thought. You don't have the memories of your previous life. This might not be a bad thing for you. The old man smiled and said, You're here for the floating cloud heavenly seal, right? Qin Yun hurriedly nodded and said in excitement, Where is the floating cloud heavenly seal? The old man took out a white pearl from his sleeve and gently tossed it to Qin Yun. This is the floating cloud heavenly seal. Qin Yun looked at the slowly floating white pearl and promptly grabbed it. He asked doubtfully, because no matter how he looks at it, it doesn't look like a great seal or something like that. This is the floating cloud heavenly seal's seal spirit. Your previous life gave it to me for safekeeping, the old man said. Seal spirit. Qin Yun is secretly disappointed. The floating cloud heavenly seal is divided into 3 parts. The seal spirit is the most important. The other 2 parts are in the Earth Province and Heaven Province. You can find them through the compass. The old man faintly smiled. Don't be in a hurry to find the floating cloud heavenly seal. With your current strength, you can't control such a powerful thing. Qin Yun stored the floating cloud heavenly seal and asked, Senior, what was the relationship between you and me in my previous life? You will naturally know everything when it's time for you to know. The old man shook his head. This altar is very big. What kind of god is it? Xiao Yuelon looked all around and discovered that there are many images on the stone walls. This is the heavenly Tao altar, the old man said with a stern expression. I worship the heavenly Tao. No matter how strong a god is, they will die one day, and the heavenly Tao is eternal and inextinguishable. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon don't understand. They looked at each other. Then what do I need to sacrifice to the heavenly Tao? Xiao Yuelon asked again. Tao heart, sincere Tao heart. The old man laughed. Not everyone has the qualifications to sacrifice to the heavenly Tao. Then what can I obtain by sacrificing to the heavenly Tao? Qin Yun asked. I can't obtain anything, because I have no other request from the heavenly Tao. I sincerely revere the heavenly Tao. The old man stroked his white hair and continued. In short, from the moment my heart turned to the heavenly Tao, I have never left this place. Many years have passed, the altar has not been destroyed, and I have not died of old age. I have never thought of living forever with the heavenly Tao. Xiao Yuelon said in shock. Senior, could it be that you are someone from the last era? I have experienced 3 9-sun world extermination. I have always been here, comprehending the heavenly Tao's joy, anger, sorrow, and joy. The old man said with smile. Qin Yun is so alarmed that he tightly grasped Xiao Yuelon's hand. This is a very ancient existence. Xiao Yuelon pulled Qin Yun and pushed him forward and said, Senior, he is my husband, but because he went against the heavenly Tao, it caused his family and friends to forget about him. Is this angering the heavenly Tao? The old man smiled and said, Yes, but this is not a bad thing. My wife has forgotten about me. Why is it not a bad thing? Qin Yun curled his lips and said, Under the heavenly Tao, there are countless living beings. How many people dare to go against the heavenly Tao? All living beings under the heavenly Tao follow the heavenly Tao's heavenly rules. Wouldn't the heavenly Tao be very boring? The old man smiled indifferently. Think about it. Being punished by the heavenly Tao is equivalent to attracting the attention of the heavenly Tao. This is a fortuitous encounter with the heavenly Tao. Qin Yun does not understand. He looked at Xiao Yuelon. The old man said again, If the heavenly Tao really wanted to punish you, you would have already died without a burial ground. Your soul would have scattered and you would never be able to reincarnate. Senior, you mean to say that Xiao Yun is accepting the test of the heavenly Tao? Xiao Yuelon asked. I don't know. In short, I feel that this is not a bad thing for him. After all, he and you have already come in contact with the heavenly Tao. This kind of contact is very mysterious. In other words, The power of the heavenly Tao has landed on your body. To you, this is a kind of fate of the heavenly Tao. The old man chuckled and said, as long as you don't die in the future, you will naturally understand how rare this kind of fate of the heavenly Tao is. Xiao Yuan looked at Qin Yun and sighed. Let's go, don't disturb Senior. The old man suddenly said, you also did not disturb me. The reason why you can come here is also because of the fate of the heavenly Tao. Isn't that so? Otherwise, why would you be able to meet me? Senior, what's your name? Qin Yun asked. Tian Dao Zi. I am a son of heavenly Tao. The old man faintly smiled. How many sons of heavenly Tao are there? Qin Yun asked again. I don't know. Tian Dao Zi suddenly got up and said, there are many people coming up. I want to go meet them. Maybe one of them can become the son of heavenly Tao. Senior, didn't you say you wouldn't leave this place? Qin Yun promptly pulled Xiao Yuan towards the stairs. They also want to go out. I suddenly want to go out and take a look. Look at everything created by the heavenly Tao. Tian Dao Zi said with a smile. Qin Yun also doesn't know how strong this mysterious Tian Dao Zi is. He only knows that he can easily kill them. Xiao Yuan and Qin Yun are walking at the very front. They originally thought that Tian Dao Zi would slowly walk up behind them, but he suddenly disappeared. He went up. Qin Yun shouted in alarm. Let's quickly go up and take a look. Xiao Yuan promptly rushed up because there is a high chance that there are people from the Guanghan Palace in the main hall. She is worried that the Guanghan Palace disciples will be attacked by others. After Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan went up, they very easily passed through the wall and arrived at the main hall inside the altar. They did not see anyone, but they can sense the remnant aura of many people. There is also spatial power fluctuation. The people who were here just now were all teleported out. Qin Yun said in shock. Could it be that they're all outside? Let's go out and take a look. Xiao Yuan walked towards the passage. When they went out, they concealed themselves. Sure enough, they saw many people outside. They are looking at the mysterious old man Tian Dao Zi in shock. After Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan went out, they quietly hid in a nearby forest. Tian Dao Zi is standing at the entrance of the altar with his hands behind his back. He is looking at the people around him. Apparently, he is very seriously observing something. Qin Yun also saw Luo Weizhuang, Shimanda Zhuang, and other friends. It's those bastards from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. Qin Yun secretly transmitted his voice to Xiao Yuan. Those two sneak attacked Sister Yalan. Xiang Yalan is also here. She is together with Nangong Shiru and a tall and thin old granny. Little Phoenix is standing beside Nangong Shiru. Shimin Qinglian is together with her father, Shimin Chongtian. We discovered this altar first. What right do you have to get us out? A middle-aged man asked in a very bad mood. This middle-aged man is from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. Seeing this middle-aged man, Xiang Yalan gnashed her teeth in anger. Because she was injured by the arrows of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and was almost poisoned to death. Tian Dao Zi did not say anything. Apparently, he is too lazy to reply. He disdained to talk to the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate people. I see that you only know a little bit of formation techniques. Your aura is so weak. At most, you're a 9th layer upper immortal. The middle-aged man from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate said with sneer, Let's go and kill him. The altar will belong to our Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan both know that the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate people are dead for sure. Two middle-aged men from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate led several people and rushed over to surround Tian Dao Zi. Tian Dao Zi has been looking at the three suns in the sky. Even though he is being attacked from all sides, his expression did not change at all. Chapter 1345. 1345, Chapter 1345. Dazhuang pays respects to Master Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate people have always been tyrannical. This is also known to all. Seeing Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, people rush up to surround Tian Daozi. Many people felt disgusted. After all, no one knows Tian Daozi's background. It would not be good to provoke him. No one can see through Tian Daozi's cultivation because they can't sense his aura. They only know that he has mastered a very special and formidable spatial power. Just now, he brought everyone outside. That is a kind of spatial power. Because Tian Daozi has mastered very strong heavenly Dao power, everyone felt that he used spatial power to enter the altar a long time ago. The two powerful Xian immortals outside the devil immortal heavenly gate brought a few ascendant immortals. They took out crossbows and aimed at Tian Daozi. The black poisonous arrows on the crossbows are like long thorns. After Qin Yun and Xiang Yalan saw them, they immediately felt very familiar. Xiang Yalan was stabbed in the heart by those poisonous arrows. Moreover, there were quite a few of them. Devil immortal heavenly gate. You bunch of shameless bastards. You used poisonous thorns to sneak attack me and almost killed me. Xiang Yalan is wearing a mask. She deliberately made her voice hoarse. Don't talk nonsense. If you were sneak attacked by us, how could you still be alive? A middle-aged man looked at Xiang Yalan and said coldly. In his heart, he is also cursing the person who saved Xiang Yalan. The two middle-aged Xian immortals from the devil immortal heavenly gate still feel that it is very strange. Because someone can impersonate someone else and send them a message through the devil mirror to confuse them. Xiang Yalan did not speak again. She only looked at them angrily. After all, she has no evidence. The middle-aged man from the devil immortal heavenly gate shouted at Tian Daozi. Old man, quickly bring us to the core of the altar or we will kill you. We discovered this altar first, and you went in to snatch away the treasures inside. Tian Daozi has been looking at the sky motionlessly. He did not care about the people from the devil immortal heavenly gate. Everyone suddenly felt that Tian Daozi is very confident, so he is not afraid of being surrounded by the devil immortal heavenly gate people. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan, who are hiding in the forest not far away, are not worried at all, because he is a person who has lived for 3 eras. If you want to kill me, then kill me. Tian Daozi suddenly said indifferently. He is still looking at the sky. What? Do you think you're very strong? Stop bluffing and quickly hand over the treasure. Bring us to the altar's core disciples. Devil immortal heavenly gates, middle-aged Xian immortal shouted. Tian Daozi didn't say anything else. He looked at the crowd as if he was looking for something. Courting death. Devil immortal heavenly gates, middle-aged man furiously snorted and shot out a black poisonous stinger. The poisonous stinger shot towards Tian Daozi, but it passed through Tian Daozi's body and hit the forehead of another short and fat middle-aged man from the devil immortal heavenly gate. The stout middle-aged man's forehead was pierced. In a moment of panic, he also shot out an arrow. The arrow shot towards Tian Daozi, but it seemed to pass through Tian Daozi's body and hit the head of the middle-aged man from the demonic immortal heavenly gate. As a result, the two middle-aged Xian immortals from the devil immortal heavenly gate were hit by a poisoned arrow each. This caused everyone to be dumbstruck. Tian Daozi's body did not move, while the two middle-aged Xian immortals from the devil immortal heavenly gate were fighting each other. The two middle-aged Xian immortals took out detoxification pills in panic. Just as they were about to eat them, a thunderous sound exploded. 2 black lightning bolts landed on the two middle-aged men's heads. Rumble. The two Xian immortals were hit by the black lightning bolts and suddenly exploded into black powder. Dead. Formidable Xian immortals were killed just like that, and it seems like Tian Daozi did not do anything. Qin Yun knows that Tian Daozi is very strong, but he is still very astonished. It seems like Tian Daozi really did not do anything, but there is a very mysterious power protecting him. The black lightning bolts that appeared earlier made Qin Yun sense a very strong heavenly might. Now, Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelan realized that their previous guess was wrong. Tian Daozi himself has no cultivation, so it is impossible to sense his cultivation. However, Tian Daozi can borrow the power of heavenly Dao and is also protected by the heavenly Dao. That is why he can live eternally with the heavenly Dao. The remaining few devil immortal heavenly gates exalted immortals are scared out of their wits and immediately fled. However, just as they ran out, they were killed by a few black lightning bolts. Many people are secretly rejoicing that they did not follow the devil immortal heavenly gates people to besiege Tian-Dao-Zi. Tian-Dao-Zi looked at everyone and said, I am Tian-Dao-Zi. As long as you can enter the lobby, you will become my disciple and know everything about the altar. After he finished speaking, Tian-Dao-Zi disappeared without a trace. Everyone looked at the passage leading to the lobby and rushed in, striving to be the first to do so. However, as soon as they rushed in, their bodies caught on fire. Then they shouted loudly and quickly retreated. After they left the passage, the flames on their bodies also extinguished. Everyone thinks that Tian-Dao-Zi is very strong. He can easily kill Shin immortals, and he also knows the secret of the altar. Therefore, many people want to take him as their master. But now, it is not that easy to enter the lobby. First, they must pass the test. Qin Yun and Xiao Yuelon know the secret of the altar, so they don't want to go in. Moreover, they feel that they are not suitable to live like Tian-Dao-Zi. Yuelon, I still have something to ask Senior Tian-Dao-Zi. I will go in and ask him myself. You go to Shiru and the others. Qin Yun said, All right, I will wait for you here. Xiao Yuelon nodded and said. After speaking, Qin Yun put on the mask and walked towards the passage. Seeing this masked man, Xiang Yalan almost shouted out loud, because she knows that this is the mysterious man with the magical fairy. When this masked man suddenly appeared, he walked into the passage very smoothly. His body did not catch on fire, and he easily walked inside. This caused many people to hastily follow, but just as they stepped in, they began to catch on fire. Moreover, the flames are very fierce. Xiang Yalan is very astonished. This made her feel that the masked man is even more powerful. She secretly regretted not asking the masked man's name. Qin Yun also knows that he can enter and exit at will. After he entered the lobby, he saw a white-robed old man with long white hair sitting cross-legged in the middle of the lobby, his body floating. Senior, is there no son of heavenly Tao outside? Qin Yun asked. There is. As long as he can come in, I will accept him as my disciple. Tian-Dao-Zi opened his eyes and laughed. Although you can come in, you are not the son of heavenly Tao, and you are also not suitable. Oh, why am I not suitable? Qin Yun asked curiously. You are not suitable. There is no why, Tian-Dao-Zi said. Qin Yun is already used to heavenly Tao-Zi's constant nagging. Why did you come in? Tian-Dao-Zi asked. I want to ask Senior about heavenly Tao Divine Rune. Qin Yun's nether son has heavenly Tao Divine Rune sealed inside. Heavenly Tao Divine Rune? I don't know what it is. If you have it, you will have to comprehend it yourself. I am not omniscient, Tian-Dao-Zi said. Qin Yun is somewhat disappointed because Tian-Dao-Zi also doesn't know about the existence of heavenly Tao Divine Rune. He can only tell Tian-Dao-Zi about heavenly Tao Divine Rune. After Tian-Dao-Zi finished listening, he said with great interest, If it is as you said, then heavenly Tao must have abandoned its power and formed its own spirit. This is actually possible. Heavenly Tao's power is originally formed from all kinds of runes. Senior, then how can I comprehend heavenly Tao Divine Rune? Qin Yun asked. Sincerely comprehend Tao. Tian-Dao-Zi laughed. There are some things that, after one comprehended, one will naturally be different from others. The heavenly Tao is ever-changing. Everyone pursues a different Tao, but they're all seeking the Tao all the same. Qin Yun can only remember these words in his heart and go back to properly think about it. Although Tian-Dao-Zi's words are very mysterious, they are also very reasonable. Qin Yun took out the compass and looked at it. He discovered that the needle is pointing at another direction. It is pointing at another part of the floating cloud heavenly seal. It is located in Earth Province. He cannot go to Earth Province now because his strength is not enough. He must at least have Xian immortal cultivation to go to Earth Province and have the power to protect himself. Qin Yun turned around and walked out. While walking through the passage, he suddenly saw a familiar person walking in. This caused him to be extremely startled. The person who walked in is a thin man. He is precisely Shimen Dazhuang. Behind him is a large white pig. Shimen Dazhuang actually walked in. It means that he is that heavenly Dao ZZ. Qin Yun originally wanted to leave, but now he is very curious. So he followed behind the large white pig and Shimen Dazhuang and returned to the lobby. I came in. Shimen Dazhuang looked at Tian Dao Zi and said with smile, Senior, am I your disciple now? Are you willing to be my disciple? Tian Dao Zi looked at Shimen Dazhuang and laughed. I am willing, I am willing. Shimen Dazhuang saw Tian Dao Zi's strength just now, so he promptly nodded and agreed. Tian Dao Zi took out a piece of paper and said with smile, Drip your blood on this paper, and you will become my disciple. Shimen Dazhuang is very happy. He immediately dripped his blood on the paper. The master-disciple ceremony is very simple. After Shimen Dazhuang handed over the paper to Tian Dao Zi, he said with smile, Master, quickly tell me the secret of this altar. Do you know why you can come here? Tian Dao Zi asked. Because I am handsome. Shimen Dazhuang grinned and said. Qin Yun cursed a few times in his heart and then took off his mask. Shimen Dazhuang immediately looked over and said in amazement, Uncle Qin, why is it you? Dazhuang, congratulations on becoming Tian Dao Zi's disciple. Qin Yun said with smile. Ah, then you are my martial brother? Shimen Dazhuang said happily, That's great. No. Qin Yun shook his head. Shimen Dazhuang is again startled. He looked at Tian Dao Zi and asked, Master, he can also come here. Why didn't you accept him? No reason. Tian Dao Zi looked at the large white pig and said with smile, This little pig can also come here. He can also worship me as master. Shimen Dazhuang suddenly laughed loudly and said, I understand, because Uncle Qin is not handsome enough. Ha ha ha. It must be so. Qin Yun speechlessly shook his head and then walked out. Chapter 1346. Purple Ice Mountains. After Qin Yun walked out, he immediately fled into the forest. Many people tried many times, but were unable to enter, so they could only temporarily leave this place. Xiao Yuelan has already left. She used the magic mirror to send a message to Qin Yun, telling him to return to the Yalan Inn. Qin Yun obtained the floating cloud Heavenly Seal's Seal Soul. This was the most important part of the floating cloud Heavenly Seal. He did not know what use it had unless he had the memories of his previous life. Xiao Yun, that Heavenly Dao Divine Rune, should be very useful. Ling Yun said, although Senior Tian Dao Zi does not know, he hinted that the Heavenly Dao Divine Inscription belongs to a part of the Heavenly Dao's power. That part of the power is out of the control of the Heavenly Dao and should be very strong. Why would it escape the control of the Heavenly Dao? Qin Yun was perplexed. Maybe it's too powerful, and the Heavenly Dao can't control it. Ling Yun said with charming smile. For example, without me, you would not be able to control your nether sun. Heavenly Dao Divine Runes are so powerful. It seems like they can't be mastered in a day or two. Qin Yun said with smile. Just as he was running in the forest, the golden devil horn trembled. It was a message from the evil god. When Qin Yun told the evil god about the altar, the evil god must have gone to ask his powerful big brother. He immediately found a safe place and took out the great golden devil horn. Evil god, is there news? Qin Yun asked. There's news. I want to ask my boss. He said that the altar is a very ancient heavenly law divine altar. Evil god very excitedly said, I didn't expect such a thing to exist in a mortal desolate. That evil god boss actually knew about such things. That surprised Qin Yun. However, the son of the Heavenly Dao had said that it was a Heavenly Dao altar and not a Heavenly Dao divine ability. Why are you so agitated? Asked Qin Yun. Boss said that there's an ancient legend that the Heavenly Axiom transformed into a human and wandered the various worlds, then built the Heavenly Axiom altar. Actually, it's also called the Heavenly Axiom altar. In short, it means the same thing. As long as you comprehend the Heavenly Dao on the altar, you will be rewarded by the Heavenly Dao. Evil God laughed and said, Even my boss wants to try. Qin Yun thought to himself, if he were to comprehend the heavenly Tao divine runes on the heavenly Tao altar. Would he gain anything? He planned to give a try later because he had other things to do now. Evil God, is there a heavenly Tao altar in divine desolate? Qin Yun asked. There should be, but we didn't find it. It is said that when the 9 suns destroy the world, the heavenly law altar will not be destroyed. Evil God said, we will also try our best to find it now. Qin Yun was secretly alarmed as he asked again, then in the divine wilderness are there gods from the previous few epochs? The evil God said with certainty, yes. It was not only the divine desolate, there were definitely people from the last era in the immortal desolate. They might have sealed themselves and waited for the next era to break the seal. Legend has it that before the 9 suns destroy the world, this kind of fellow would run out, and when the world is about to be destroyed, he would hide inside. Why are they doing this? Qin Yun found it unbelievable. It is very unfathomable. The main thing is that when they seal themselves, they will experience the 9 desolate 9 sun rebirth. They believe that when they sleep, they can absorb the power of the 9 suns and 9 desolate 9 sun rebirth to obtain the power of rebirth and live longer. Evil God said with smile, this is a secret technique. As for whether it is true or not, we will know very soon. Evil God is very certain that there will be people from the last few epochs coming out. When the time comes, they will be able to ask them clearly. Qin Yun returned to Yalan Tavern and arrived at Nangong Shuiru's small building. Only Little Phoenix is here. After seeing Qin Yun, Little Phoenix immediately told Qin Yun what she had seen and heard, all of which were related to the altar. Qin Yun already knows, but he is still patiently listening. After all, sharing information with others is a very pleasant thing. Little Phoenix is very happy now. Nangong Shuiru and Xiao Yuelan are at Xiang Yalan's place. They are disciples of Guanghan Palace. Now that they are gathered together, they must be discussing something important. Xiang Yalan was plotted against by devil immortal heavenly gates disciples before. She must be gathering inscription masters to research those poisonous thorns and craft defensive equipment to avoid being ambushed again. Nighttime. Qin Yun suddenly sensed that the devil mirror is frantically trembling. He opened the devil mirror and heard Shimin Dazhuang's weeping voice. Uncle Qin, save me. I don't want to stay here to comprehend heavenly Tao. I am so vexed. Qin Yun said with smile, Dazhuang, you are a very rare child of heavenly Tao. So long as you comprehend heavenly Tao, you will obtain formidable power and become immortal. Immortal my ass. I'm so vexed right now. Did you know that you have to comprehend Tao, so you didn't want to take me as your master? Why didn't you persuade me before? Shimin Dazhuang very dejectedly yelled. Big White Pig also yelled, Uncle Qin, quickly come and save us brothers. We are trapped here to comprehend Tao. It is so boring. Dazhuang, what did Senior Tian Dao Zi tell you to do? Could it be that you can't leave the altar? Qin Yun asked. He asked us whether or not we want to obtain the protection of heavenly Tao. Of course we want to, then we asked him to give us pointers. He made us promise that we would earnestly and diligently study. Only then did he agree to teach us. We promised him. Then he made us sit on top of the altar and let us comprehend Tao. Shimin Dazhuang cried and shouted, Uncle Qin, we don't even know how to comprehend. Quickly come and take us away. Dazhuang, you are so handsome. You will definitely comprehend it. I'm going to sleep. Qin Yun said with mischievous smile, and then stored the devil mirror. Shimin Dazhuang and the Big White Pig were sitting on the platform at the top of the altar. Tian Dao Zi had teleported them here, so that they could comprehend the Tao here. Only after gaining enlightenment would they be allowed to leave. Otherwise, they would be stuck here for the rest of their lives. Now the entire altar is enveloped by mysterious and natural formidable power. No one can approach it. Even though a mysterious giant altar had appeared, it did not give birth to any treasures. Instead, it gave birth to a very mysterious and powerful Tian Dao Zi. Now, the news of Devil Immortal Heavenly Gates disciples being killed in an instant spread on the Devil Mirror. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate also said ruthlessly that they will definitely find Tian Dao Zi to settle the score. After all, two of their powerful Xian Immortal disciples were killed in an instant in front of everyone. If their Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate doesn't do anything, where would their prestige be? Shimin Dezhuang and Big White Pig became famous because they were able to enter the altar and become Tian Dao Zi's disciples. Many people are envious of them because they know the secret of the altar. However, everyone doesn't know that Shimin Dezhuang and Big White Pig now have the heart to die. They thought that after knowing the secret of the altar, they would be able to obtain many good things. However, after becoming disciples, they realized that it was not the case. From Tian Dao Zi's rambling words, they understood that what they have to do next is to comprehend Dao. However, they don't have a single clue as to what to do. Qin Yun is lying on the bed. He feels that it is strange. Why would a person like Shimin Dezhuang be chosen by Tian Dao Zi? He thought that people who can become children of heavenly Dao are like Tian Dao Zi. They seem to have no desires, and their hearts are as calm as still water. A person like Shimin Dezhuang doesn't seem to be the type to become a child of heavenly Dao. Qin Yun's devil mirror is constantly vibrating. Is Shimin Dezhuang contacting him? Fortunately, he understood the magic mirror very well, so he restricted Shimin Dezhuang's messages. This way he could have some peace. Nangong Shuuru returned late at night. She knew that Qin Yun is here, so she came back. Otherwise, she would have stayed at Xiang Yalan's place. Qin Yun came out of his room and arrived at a small living room. He saw a white-clothed woman sitting on a chair with a smile on her face. Her beautiful eyes are flickering with autumn ripples. She has a sweet smile on her face. Within her gentleness, there's a bit of seductiveness. Shuiru, Yuan didn't come? Qin Yun walked over and said with a smile. She didn't come. She's being entangled by a little demoness. Nangong Shuiru said with charming smile. Shimin Qinglian is entangling her. That little demoness Qinglian is truly fickle. She said she only likes me before, but after seeing Yuan, she ignored me. What? That wretched Qinglian has led my Yuan astray. Qin Yun cursed in low voice. He very much wants to rush over and teach Shimin Qinglian a lesson. He promptly took out the devil mirror and sent a message to Xiao Yuan, telling her to keep her distance from Shimin Qinglian and not let her take advantage of her. Xiao Yuan replied and told him not to worry, saying that she is the only one taking advantage of others. Nangong Shuiru knows that Qin Yun and Xiao Yuan are husband and wife, so she giggled nonstop. I won't tease you anymore. Yuan is fine. That little demoness Qinglian is not Yuan's match. Nangong Shuiru said with gentle smile. Shuiru, you returned so late. Does Guanghan Palace have something important to discuss with you? Qin Yun asked. Another sun altar has been found. There are also people from Sacred Desolate inside. Their attitude is much better than those people from Great Desert Sacred City. They sent 10 invitation letters to our Guanghan Palace, inviting us to their altar. That altar is located in one of Xian Province's 10 great holy lands, Purple Ice Mountain Range. Nangong Shuiru said. Qin Yun had heard of the Purple Ice Mountain Range. A gigantic sun divine stone had fallen and turned a plain into countless mountains. Those mountains seemed to be covered in purple ice, and the trees inside had leaves that looked like purple ice. They were extremely beautiful. That holy land allows Xian immortals to enter, so the inscription beasts inside must be even stronger than Xian immortals. Because it is too dangerous, we refused their good intentions and did not agree to enter Purple Ice Mountain Range. Purple Ice Mountain Range is a Xian immortal danger zone. We Ascendant Immortals don't even dare to approach it. Guanghan Palace doesn't have many Xian immortals, so we can't take the risk. Qin Yun nodded and said, It is indeed so. Nangong Shuiru said with smile. But those people from Sacred Desolate are very sincere. They found out that many Xian immortals from great powers don't dare to enter, so they decided to come out and teach us cultivation methods or runes to deal with inscription beasts. This is very good, Qin Yun said with smile. They will arrive in 2 days. I heard that those Sacred Desolate people from Great Desert Sacred City can no longer sit still, so they will come to Luo Tian City in 2 days. Nangong Sharu said with smile, when the time comes, the people from Sacred Desolate will fight. We will see who is stronger. Chapter 1347 1347 Chapter 1347 Battle in Holy City. Nangong Sharu knows that Qin Yun hates those sacred desolate people from Great Desert Sacred City very much, so she can understand his anger. Xiao Yun, they won't dare to enter Luo Tian City, but they will stay outside the city. Nangong Sharu said, There's a city near the altar in the Purple Ice Mountain Range. It is called Purple Ice Holy City. When the time comes, Purple Ice Sacred City will deal with Great Desert Sacred City. Are there more sacred, desolate people coming to Great Desert Sacred City? Qin Yun asked. Indeed, there were quite a few of them that were teleported over in batches. They were mainly here to capture the inscription beasts. Those inscription beasts are very useful to them. Nangong Sharu nodded and said. Qin Yun thought to himself how he could take revenge on the people of the Sacred Desolate in the Great Desert Sacred City. Purple Ice Sacred City will enter Luo Tian City and meet with Shimin family to discuss how to subdue inscription beasts. Nangong Sharu took out an invitation letter and said with smile, Qinglian gave this to me. I will also be able to participate in their meeting. Qin Yun is very interested in the matter of subduing the inscription beast. He learned some relevant information from Shimin Dazhuang. In order to subdue the inscription beast, the most important thing is to obtain the recognition of the inscription beast. Sometimes it depends on fate. Once an inscription beast approves of a person, it will follow that person. Another thing is to use one's formidable strength to obtain the approval of the inscription beast. That is to defeat an inscription beast with the same cultivation. Xiao Yun, go back and rest. If there is anything else, I will inform you. Nangong Sharu said with gentle and beautiful smile. Qin Yun returned to his room and took out the vibrating magic mirror. Is Shimin Qinglian contacting him? This damned female rogue. Not only is she harassing my wife, she also wants to harass me. Qin Yun cursed in low voice and accepted the call. Uncle Qin, quickly save Brother Dazhuang. This idiot is annoying me to death. He has been asking me for help the whole night. He wants me to seduce you to save him. This damned bastard. Shimin Qinglian yelled. Are you together with great beauty Xiao Yuan? Qin Yun asked. Indeed, what about it? Shimin Qinglian said with smile. She is truly a great beauty. She's much better than Sister Shui Ru. Qinglian, you haven't forgotten that I saved your life and your father's, right? Asked Qin Yun. I haven't forgotten. I've been thinking about how to repay you. Didn't I invite you to a brothel before? But you refused. I even said that I would find you a few courtesans, but you refused. Shimin Qinglian curled her lips and said, What do you want? Do you want me to repay you with my body? Qin Yun cursed inwardly and said, I want Xiao Yuan. You have to help me get her. Shimin Qinglian was stunned, and then he said, Dream on. Even I can't flirt with her, let alone you. Also, Sister Yuan is not someone who is easy to deal with. Don't look at how cold she is. I have been secretly taken advantage of several times. Furthermore, she is still trying to get the secret of my Shimin family's inscription. How about this? I will help you chase after Sister Shui Ru. She is a good character, and you also know her. I will help you as a go-between. This matter will definitely succeed. Oh, that's right. Aren't you afraid of your wife? Why are you thinking about Sister Yuan? Shui Ru is already mine. I want Xiao Yuan now. Qin Yun said. He is laughing in his heart, and said again. Also, I heard that Xiang Yalan is also very beautiful. I also want to chase after her. Shimin Qinglian lightly groaned and said, Uncle Qin, you are too greedy. You have already chased after Sister Shui Ru, yet you still want Sister Yuan and Sister Yalan? Why don't you just die? You're looking at the bowl and thinking about the pot. You can't be like this. Didn't you say that you could make Sister Yalan dance for me to see? I want to see her dance. Moreover, it's the kind of dance where she doesn't wear clothes. Qin Yun is lying on the bed, teasing Shimin Qinglian. He is very happy in his heart. Uncle Qin, you can say this to me, Don't say it everywhere in the Yalan Tavern. Otherwise, I won't be able to save you. Shimin Qinglian laughed and scolded in low voice. I really didn't expect you to be this kind of big tree. I thought you were a gentleman who wouldn't be disturbed even when you are in love. I didn't expect that it's just that your standards are too high. You don't like mediocre women. Qinyan said with smile. I don't care. You said that you can make Xiang Yalandan for me to see. I want to see. Uncle, Qinglian can't do it. I was just bragging. Shimin Qinglian pleaded. Don't use my name to provoke the beauties of the Yalan Tavern in the future. They will hate me. Then I will think of a way to seduce Xiao Yuelan and Xiang Yalan myself. Hee hee, Qinyan said with smile. Shimin Qinglian lightly groaned. Uncle Qin, it's not that I look down on you. A little exalted immortal like you, let alone seducing them. If you can make them smile at you, I'll be impressed. That's it, I'm going to rest. Qinyan cut off the connection, then changed the devil mirror so that Shimin Qinglian can't contact him at night. Shimin Qinglian also went to rest, but her devil mirror suddenly vibrated. Is Shimin Dazhuang contacting her? Damn Uncle Qin, he is actually talking about Sister Yuelan's matter. He made me forget about Brother Dazhuang's matter. Shimin Qinglian wanted to contact Qin Yun, but discovered that she can't. She thinks that there is a problem with the devil mirror. At night, other than Shimin Qinglian who can't rest, Luo Weizhuang, Xinyuan Yefeng, Xinyuan Wanxi, as well as Shimin Chongtian were also greeted by Shimin Dazhuang. They are very regretful that they established contact with Shimin Dazhuang's devil mirror. Shimin Dazhuang and Big White Pig are trapped on top of the Heavenly Dao altar by Tian Daozi to comprehend Heavenly Dao. They can't comprehend anything, so they can only ask others for help. Daybreak. Qin Yin went downstairs and saw Shimin Qinglian sitting in the living room. Her face is filled with resentment. She is bitterly biting a large red fruit. Brother Xiao Yun, this is Sister Shiru's immortal fruit. Here you go. Little Phoenix saw Qin Yin coming downstairs and promptly walked over. She smiled sweetly and handed over a large red immortal fruit to Qin Yin. Thank you, Little Phoenix, Qin Yin said with smile. He took the fruit and ate it while walking to the table and looking at Shimin Qinglian. Uncle, I was annoyed to death by Brother Dazhuang last night. Shimin Qinglian bitterly sighed and said, This idiot, he was trapped on top of the altar trying to comprehend some damn heavenly Tao. If he can't comprehend a bit, he won't be able to escape. That's easy. Just throw away your devil mirror and find another one. You don't lack immortal jade pearls anyways. Qin Yun said with smile. How can I do that? My devil mirror has established contact with many beautiful women. From time to time, I let them send me some beautiful pictures. If I throw away this devil mirror, I will have to find them again. It will be very troublesome. Shimin Qinglian took out the devil mirror and said. She let out a long sigh and placed the devil mirror on the table. The devil mirror is constantly trembling and letting out buzzing sound. I can help you settle this matter, but how will you repay me? Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. So long as you help me, I will be yours. I will do whatever you want me to do. Do whatever you want me to do. Shimin Qinglian's expression is very listless. Then she looked at Little Phoenix and said, Little Phoenix, you testify. Little Phoenix stuck out her tongue and said with smile, Brother Xiao Yun can surely do it. How is that possible? Unless I get a new devil mirror or get Brother Dazhuang out, I will be annoyed to death by him. Shimin Qinglian let out a long sigh and said, And I cannot throw away my devil mirror. What if Dazhuang runs out of immortal jade pearls? He will need immortal jade pearls to use the devil mirror, right? Qin Yin said with smile. Our Shimin family's devil mirror is specially refined by immortal emperor devil mirror. We don't need immortal jade pearls. Shimin Qinglian said with bitter smile. Qin Yun is somewhat surprised. Immortal emperor devil mirror is very considerate of Shimin family. This is equivalent to currying favor with Shimin family. He picked up Shimin Qinglian's vibrating devil mirror, then took out the floating cloud divine needle and changed the runes inside. The devil mirror is no longer shaking. All right. Qin Yun returned the devil mirror to Shimin Qinglian and said with smile. Shimin Qinglian immediately became spirited and tried to contact Shimin Dazhuang. She discovered that only she can contact Shimin Dazhuang. Shimin Dazhuang cannot contact her. Very good. Shimin Qinglian laughed heartily, then said to Qingyun, "Come, I will do whatever you want me to do. I will do whatever you want me to do. I will do whatever I say." Qingyun laughed mischievously. His smile is filled with evil. Shimin Qinglian also smiled charmingly. It seems like she is very much looking forward to it. "Qinglian, I need some good immortal tier materials. It would be best if they can be used to refine high-quality immortal tools. Help me collect them. You will also provide the immortal jade pearls. If it is not enough, I will think of another way." Qingyun said with smile. Shimin Qinglian is stunned, then curled her lips and cursed in low voice. "Unromantic guy? No matter what, Shimin Qinglian is still a great beauty. Why are you not moved at all?" "Great Master Qinglian, I will leave the important task of collecting immortal tier materials to you. It is more suitable for you to do this," Qingyun said with mischievous smile. Shimin Qinglian rolled her eyes at Qingyun, finished eating the fruit, and left the small building while groaning. Little Phoenix lightly laughed and said, "Brother Xiao Yun, Sister Qinglian is very interesting. Little Phoenix, you must be careful of this female rogue. She is very bad," Qingyun said with smile. At this time, Luo Weizhuang contacted Qingyun. First, he complained about being harassed by Shimin Dazhuang. Then he told Qingyun that Purple Eye Sacred City's sacred desolate people are recruiting a large number of people outside Luo Tian City. As long as they pass, they will get a set of equipment and cultivation technique. They will also have the opportunity to get core fragments. Qingyun is very interested in cultivation technique and core fragments. On top of that, he feels that if he joins Purple Eye Sacred City, he will have the opportunity to enter the Sun Altar and take a look. There are many core fragments inside. Soon after, Nangong Shiru and Xiao Yuelon contacted Qingyun and told him that Purple Eye Sacred City's sacred desolate people have arrived. They advised him to give it a try and see whether or not he can pass the assessment. They all know that Qingyun is collecting core fragments. Qingyun took out a golden smiling face mask and put it on. Then he and Little Phoenix left Luo Tian City. Purple Eye's Sacred City's sacred desolate people did not enter Luo Tian City. The main reason is that it will attract too many people to watch. It will be very crowded inside Luo Tian City. Moreover, there is no need to worry about the fierce assessment outside the city. Many people want to see how strong sacred desolate people with sacred body and sacred spirit are. Therefore, all the immortals in Luo Tian City ran out of the city. Chapter 1348. 1348, Chapter 1348, Uncle's True Face. The people from Sacred Desolate brought their mansions, houses, and so on. Those mansions can be stored in storage magic treasures. Generally speaking, this kind of mansions that can be stored in storage magic tools are all things with strong defense. They are also things that can only be refined by the cooperation of many powerful inscription masters. After Qingyun and Little Phoenix left the city, they saw a mansion. In front of the mansion, there's a very large battle stage. Those guys from Sacred Desolate really brought a lot of good things. Qingyun looked at the dazzling golden battle stage. He did not see any formation pillars, but he knew that the barrier is one with the entire battle stage. He quickly walked over and studied the battle stage. The battle stage is more than a meter tall, like a huge plaza. It was placed in front of the luxurious mansion's entrance. It was prepared for the battle. After Qingyun approached, he touched the battle stage. He could immediately tell that this battle stage is a very powerful thing. Could it be a sacred tool? Such a large battle stage. How many materials will be needed? Are there many sacred tier materials in Sacred Desolate? Qingyun looked around. When no one was paying attention, he quietly took out the floating cloud divine needle and poked at the light golden cover of the battle stage. After testing, he confirmed that the materials used to refine this battle stage are not all sacred tier. Most of them are high-grade immortal tier materials, and there are also some sacred tier materials. The 2-kilometer-wide super battle stage looked very spectacular from afar. Purple Ice Sacred City took out this thing. Could it be that they want to exchange pointers with Great Desert Sacred City? Qin Yun laughed in his heart. This time there will be a good show to watch. Many people only felt that the battle stage is very heroic. At most, they stopped to take a few glances. However, Qin Yun approached it and touched it, as if he is doing something. "Masked man, what are you doing?" A middle-aged man wearing golden armor saw Qin Yun sneakily and quickly flew over and asked, I am just touching it," Qin Yun said with a smile. "After all, it is something from Sacred Desolate. It is stained with sacred energy. The battle stage is very powerful. Even the strongest immortal tool in your immortal desolate land would not be able to destroy it." The middle-aged man in golden armor smiled proudly. "Wait a moment. The High Immortals of our Purple Ice Holy City will hold 3 battles with the High Immortals of the Great Desert Holy City. At that time, not only will you be able to experience the strength of our Purple Ice Holy City, you will also be able to see how powerful this stage is." Qin Yun nodded and asked, "By the way, where do you need to register for your Purple Ice Sacred City's recruitment? Line up and pass a simple test. After that, you will be qualified for the assessment." The middle-aged man pointed at the mansion and said, "Thank you, big brother." Qin Yun and Little Phoenix quickly walked towards the mansion. After entering the mansion, there was a large hall with a long queue inside. This was just a test, and during the test, Qin Yun asked Little Phoenix to wait beside him while he went to line up. He looked at the people around him. Most of them were exalted immortals, and many of them were wearing masks. Those who could become ascendant immortals would more or less have a few enemies. At this moment, he was wearing a mask because he was afraid of encountering an enemy. Is it really possible to get a core fragment? Qin Yun is very much looking forward to it. If not for the core fragment, he would not have bothered to take the assessment. As long as he had enough core fragments, he would be able to use the 9-Sun Divine Hammer for a long time and refine very strong things. For example, the cannon arrows he refined before, if he added divine iron powder and a large number of good immortal tier materials and forged them with the 9-Sun Divine Hammer, the quality would definitely be extremely high and it would be able to penetrate many good armors. While Qin Yun was queuing up, he contacted Xiao Yuelon and found out that those disciples of famous sects did not need to take the assessment to join the Purple Ice Sacred City. For example, Xiao Yuelon, Luo Weizhuang, Xin Yuan Yefeng, and other famous 9th stage exalted immortals have all decided to join the Purple Ice Sacred City and learn the techniques to capture and subdue inscription beasts. The most important thing is to obtain the resources provided by the Sacred Desolate and cultivate Sacred Body and Sacred Spirit as soon as possible. After a while, it was Qin Yun's turn to take the test. The middle-aged man in charge of the test asked Qin Yun to place his hand on a round plate and said, "Please take off your mask." Qin Yun can only take off his mask and place his hand on the round plate. After the test, the middle-aged man said with a frown, "You are only a 2nd stage exalted immortal. You are not qualified to take our test. You need to be at least a 3rd stage exalted immortal. Our test is mainly to test cultivation, to prevent people with insufficient cultivation from sneaking in." Qin Yun frowned. He did not know such conditions when he was queuing up. "Although I'm a 2nd stage exalted immortal, my strength is not weak. Can you make an exception?" Qin Yun asked. A powerful 2nd stage exalted immortal can indeed defeat a 3rd stage exalted immortal. But even if you could defeat a 3rd stage exalted immortal, you might not be able to pass our test. Our rules are very strict, please understand," the middle-aged man said in a very difficult manner. All right, seeing that the other party's attitude is good, Qin Yun did not make things difficult for them and turned around to leave. At this time, someone shouted in alarm, "Isn't this that uncle?" "Uncle?" Shimin Qinglian called him uncle. "No wonder he looks so familiar. That's him. I heard he beat shopkeeper, he's son He Chioyong." He Chioyong? He seems to be a 5th stage exalted immortal. I never thought that this uncle is only a 2nd stage exalted immortal. How did he beat He Chioyong? That's impossible. Maybe He Chiuyong was plotted against. I heard that the incident happened in Exalted Immortal Shui Ru's building. There are many barriers inside. He Chiuyong was entangled by those barriers. That guy had a chance to succeed. Qin Yun heard many people talking about him as he walked out, but he did not take it to heart. Forget it. I will watch the battle between Great Desert Holy City and Purple Ice Holy City, then go back and cultivate. After walking out, Qin Yun brought Little Phoenix to the side of the battle platform, chose a good spot, put on his mask, and waited for the show to begin. At this time, the news about the mysterious uncle in Yalan Tavern has spread. Although this matter wasn't reported to the Magic Mirror, it still spread in private. After all, He Chiuyong and He Wanqin were beaten up. Apart from that, more than 10 young disciples were also killed by Qin Yun. He Chiuyong and He Wanqin are currently in a tall building inside the residence, receiving warm hospitality. After they heard the news, they are very shocked. Young Master He, the guy who beat us back then, is actually a second stage, exalted immortal. He Chiuyong said in shock. I also heard about it. It's really strange. Why is my father so afraid of him? Could it be that he was tricked? He Wanqin cursed in low voice. He is clearly very young. His cultivation is also very low, yet he actually pretended to be some uncle. He Chiuyong coldly groaned and said, "This is all Shimin Qinglian's doing. I reckon that guy has some relationship with Shimin Qinglian. Didn't your father tell you about that uncle?" He didn't say anything. Who the hell is that guy? If he has status, he wouldn't need to line up for the test. Moreover, he is only a second stage exalted immortal, yet he can easily defeat us. He Wanqin originally thought that Qin Yun was a very strong senior. Even if he was beaten by a senior, it would be very normal. But now he found out that Qin Yun is younger than them. His cultivation is not high, and he was even kicked out by Purple Ice Holy City. We are now Purple Ice Holy City's people. With the protection of Purple Ice Holy City, we don't need to be afraid of that shrew Qinglian. Let's quickly find someone to spread the news, to say that uncle is a very weak second stage exalted immortal. The reason why he can seriously injure us is because of exalted immortal Shui Ru's barrier. He Chiuyong laughed coldly. Also, just say that uncle is a guy who puts on airs. That's why people feel that he is very strong. He Wanqin said worriedly. He should be Shui Ru's friend. How does Shui Ru know this guy? And my father is indeed a bit afraid of him. Don't worry. We are now Purple Ice Holy City's people. What's more, we are secretly spreading rumors about him, making Purple Ice Holy City not accept this guy. No matter how powerful he is, can he be more powerful than Purple Ice Holy City? He Chiuyong chuckled and said, "We must discredit this guy. Don't let him enter Purple Ice Holy City." He Wanqin also nodded in agreement. After discrediting Qin Yun, a second stage exalted immortal, others wouldn't laugh at them for being defeated by a second stage exalted immortal. Very quickly, news about that uncle spread in the palace hall of the mansion. They said that he is only a second stage exalted immortal, and yet he dared to take the test. He really thinks that he is a very strong uncle, and he is also very arrogant in Purple Ice Holy City's territory. Because He Chiuyong and Mei Jun and He Wanqin, these famous youths were beaten up by that uncle, the uncle's matter also attracted many people's attention. Now that they know that uncle is a second stage exalted immortal, it also caused many people to discuss. In short, they all said that uncle couldn't even pass Purple Ice Holy City's test, and was beaten back to his original state by Purple Ice Holy City. He couldn't continue pretending and could only leave with his tail between his legs. These words quickly reached Qin Yun's ears. He is wearing a mask, not far from the battle platform. There are many people who recognize his mask. When he passed by, they all pointed at him. Brother Xiao Yun, the people of Purple Ice Holy City have made an announcement on the Magic Mirror. They said that they won't accept that arrogant uncle. They said that Purple Ice Holy City doesn't allow such an arrogant person to enter the city. Little Phoenix looked at the contents of the Magic Mirror and felt very angry for Qin Yun. They also said that the rules of Purple Ice Holy City are very strict. Even if a second stage exalted immortal could defeat a fifth stage exalted immortal, they are not allowed to join. Rules are rules. It's fine. It must be that tramp He Chioyong who secretly said bad things about me. Those idiots from Purple Ice Holy City actually believed it. Qinyan shook his head and smiled, not taking it to heart at all. Suddenly, many people flew out from the mansion. Their auras are very strong, especially the auras of the ninth stage, exalted immortals, and Shin immortals. Purple Ice Holy City's sacred desolate people, they do look quite strong. Qinyan raised his head to look at the people in the sky. After that group of people flew out, many people also quickly ran over and let out waves of excited shouts because they finally saw the people of Sacred Desolate. The people of Purple Ice Holy City landed in the middle of the huge battle platform. At this moment, a very powerful aura surged over from afar. Someone shouted, "The people from Great Desert Holy City are here." When the people of Great Desert Holy City came over, they brought with them rolling yellow sand, accompanied by a sandstorm of thunder and lightning. They looked very imposing. Chapter 1349. Versus. Purple Ice, the person leading the team from Grand Desert Sacred City, was a powerful Xian immortal youth, not Xiao Tianxiu. Many people were surprised to see that the leader of the Grand Desert Sacred City was a Xian immortal. Everyone knew that Xian immortals were not allowed to enter the mystic immortal desert. Even if they were to teleport over from the Sacred Desolate, they could only hide within the boundaries of the Sun Altar's power. Moreover, the leader of this group of people from the Great Desert Sacred City was a Xian immortal, which meant that they could not return to the great mysterious immortal desert. In the future, he would definitely be moving around in the immortal desolate. It would be very difficult for him to return to the Sacred Desolate. This was a great sacrifice. After the people from Great Desert Sacred City landed on the battle platform, they brought along a wave of yellow sand. There were more Xian immortals on Purple Ice Sacred City's side, so they easily blocked the yellow sand. The people around the stage held their breaths as they watched. This was a contest between two holy cities, which was equivalent to a contest between two forces under the banner of the Nine Suns sects. The victory or defeat of the two holy cities was very important, because this was an important moment for them to display their true strength. These two holy cities were currently recruiting people to join them. If they couldn't defeat the other side at the crucial moment, they would definitely be laughed at by others. What surprised Qinyan was that Luo Weizhuang and company were among the people from the Purple Ice Sacred City. They did not come from the Sacred Desolate, so their strength was indeed lacking compared to the geniuses of the Sacred Desolate. Therefore, they would not go on stage to compete. At most, they would just watch from the side. Yu Zwicken, Lan Bufan, and the others from the Great Desert Sacred City also came to help. It was said that they had cultivated saint bodies, but many people didn't believe it. Therefore, the people near the battle stage all wanted to see if they had really cultivated saint bodies. Qinyan feels that Yu Zwicken and Lan Bufan have not cultivated sacred body, because it is not that easy. Qinyan cultivated a mortal devil sacred body, but he knows that cultivating sacred body is not easy. Even if he has large amount of resources, it is impossible to cultivate it in a short period of time. The people of the Sacred Desolate City from the two sacred cities greeted each other hypocritically on the battle platform before starting the competition. This seemed to be what they had agreed on before. The Purple Ice Sacred City had previously mocked the Great Desert Sacred City on the magic mirror, which made the Great Desert Sacred City very unhappy. Therefore, the Great Desert Sacred City had long since started to challenge the Purple Ice Sacred City. Today was the day that the Purple Ice Sacred City went out to recruit people. So the Great Desert Sacred City also chose today to challenge the Purple Ice Sacred City. Since you only have one Xian Immortal, we won't hold the Xian Immortal competition. Let the exalted Immortals come. The leader of the Purple Ice Sacred City was a refined and elegant young Xian Immortal. From his aura, he was stronger than the Grand Desert Sacred City's Xian Immortal. There is only one Xian Immortal in Grand Desert Sacred City, so it wasn't easy for them to fight. According to their agreement, There would be 3 rounds of competition. They were respectively the 9th, 6th, and 3rd tier Ascendant Immortals. They were the 3 important stages of the Ascendant Immortal stage. Sacred Desolate's 9th level Exalted Immortals have cultivated Sacred Soul, Sacred Body, so their fight is very closely watched by the 9th level Exalted Immortals. As the bell rang, the battle between the 9th layer Sacred Wilderness Exalted Immortals began. Many people took out their magic mirrors to record what had happened. Qin Yun and Little Phoenix had already chosen a good spot to watch the battle, and they were paying close attention to it. The battle was very intense from the very beginning. Boom, 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 sound could be heard. Although powerful energy fluctuations burst out, they were blocked by the powerful battle platform. Therefore, it was very safe to watch the battle from the side. A battle between the strongest 9th level Exalted Immortals and the Sacred Desolate was a rare sight. Moreover, they used cultivation techniques from the Sacred Desolate and powerful Sacred Bodies. As soon as the battle began, the tens of thousands of spectators burst into exclamations. The 9th level Exalted Immortals from the Sacred Desolate were indeed very strong. Many 9th level Exalted Immortals from the Immortal Desolate felt inferior and envious. The battle lasted for less than an hour. Finally, the victor was decided. The first battle was won by the Purple Ice Sacred City. There are many people from the Purple Ice Sacred City here, and they all burst into cheers. It can be seen that the people from the Sacred Desolate did not fight to the death. After the 9th level Xian Immortals from the Great Desert Sacred City knew that they were no match for the other side, they very straightforwardly admitted defeat. There were still 2 more matches, so the people from the Great Desert Sacred City were very calm. The next battle was between the 6th level Exalted Immortals. Compared to the previous battle, it was indeed not as intense, and the victor was quickly decided. This battle was won by the 6th level Exalted Immortal from the Great Desert Sacred City. At this moment, the people from the Purple Ice Sacred City were very nervous. The last battle was between the 3rd level Exalted Immortals. If the person sent by the Purple Ice Sacred City lost, it would be equivalent to them being destroyed. Everyone knew that the last battle was not as exciting as the previous 2. However, they knew that this battle was very important because it was the key to deciding who would win between the Great Desert Sacred City and the Purple Ice Sacred City. After the battle began, the 3rd level Exalted Immortal from the Purple Ice Sacred City launched a very fierce attack. Although it was a young man, his immortal power caused many of the older generation to be secretly shocked. At the beginning, the Purple Ice Sacred City's Exalted Immortal had the upper hand. However, because of his carelessness, he was accidentally hit by the opponent's palm and his rhythm was messed up. Then, he was suppressed to the point where he was unable to turn the tables. I admit defeat. Purple Ice Sacred City's yellow-clothed youth was sent flying by a punch and realized that he had no chance of winning. So he loudly admitted defeat. This caused many people to feel some disdain, because the yellow-clothed youth did not seem to have lost miserably and could still continue fighting. Yet he actually admitted defeat just like that. Qin Yin can also see that the 2 Exalted Immortals did not dare to go all out. They are worried that they will be seriously injured. Therefore, they are very clear that if they fall into a disadvantageous position, they will definitely be seriously injured by the opponent. Wu Xinghao, you fought very well. The difference in strength between you and your opponent is not very big. Although you lost this battle, you are still a very strong 3rd level Exalted Immortal. A young Xian Immortal from the Purple Ice Sacred City walked over and patted Wu Xinghao's shoulder. The young Xian Immortal then said to everyone with a smile, "Everyone, I have disappointed you. Our Purple Ice Sacred City invited the Great Desert Sacred City to come here to exchange pointers, but we lost. Although our Exalted Immortals are not as good as the Great Desert Sacred City, our Xian Immortals are stronger than the Great Desert Sacred City. Everyone should know that in the Purple Ice Mountain Range, Xian Immortals are the most important. Everyone knows that the attitude of the people from the Purple Ice Sacred City is very good." Hearing his words, everyone nodded repeatedly. The Purple Ice Sacred City is mainly sending Xian immortals over, because the Purple Ice Mountain Range is a Xian immortal holy land, and the Great Desert Sacred City is an exalted immortal holy land. The Great Desert Sacred City pays attention to sending outstanding exalted immortals. An old man said, "Although the exalted immortals of the Great Desert Sacred City won this competition, it does not mean that the Great Desert Sacred City is stronger than the Purple Ice Sacred City." That's right, the Purple Ice Sacred City with many Xian immortals is more reliable. We will join the Purple Ice Sacred City. The Purple Ice Sacred City's exalted immortals are not weak either. They are not far off from the Great Desert Sacred City. It was only because of a small mistake that they lost to the other party. Many people did not laugh at the Purple Ice Sacred City because of this. It can be seen that the Purple Ice Sacred City was very successful in bribing people's hearts. When a young Xian immortal of the Purple Ice Sacred City heard everyone praising them, he very happily said, "Everyone, when you saw our sacred desolates exalted immortals fighting, are you all restless? Do you want to spar with the exalted immortals of the sacred wilderness? Those who defeat our sacred desolate will be able to obtain a core fragment." Many people cheered. The people of the Great Desert Sacred City were a little unhappy because they had won, but they did not receive any cheers. It was obvious that they had been brought here by the Purple Ice Sacred City. Right now, the people of the Great Desert Holy City could only walk down the stage because the Purple Ice Holy City's immortals wanted to accept the challenge from others. Wu Xinghao smiled and said, "Fellows, although I lost to the third layer Ascendant Immortal from the Holy City of Grand Desert, I was able to defeat the Ascendant Immortals from the Holy City of Grand Desert. Even so, I am still the second strongest third layer Ascendant Immortal in the Immortal Desolate. If a third layer exalted immortal from the Immortal Desolate can defeat me, he will be able to obtain the core fragment." The sun's core fragment was very useful. It was said to be the key to cultivating a saint body and saint soul. Even many immortal kings and immortal emperors wanted it. When Qinyan heard that, he felt that his opportunity had come. The people below the stage were in an uproar when they heard this. A youth from the Great Desert Sacred City sneered, "Wu Xinghao, aren't you clearly bullying people? Even in the Sacred Desolate, there are not many third-tier Ascendant Immortals who can defeat you. Although you promised a reward of core fragments, no one has been able to get one." That's right, Wu Xinghao, your saint body is so powerful. Forget about third-tier Ascendant Immortals. Even fourth-tier Ascendant Immortals might not be able to defeat you. Your Purple Ice Holy City is not sincere at all. Wu Xinghao, do you dare to let us go up and challenge you? Great Desert Sacred City's people shouted. Only people like us who have cultivated saint body and saint soul have a chance of defeating you. Great Desert Sacred City's people mocked and ridiculed Qinyan. Wu Xinghao laughed and said, "Although friends from the Immortal Desolate will find it difficult to defeat me, you can still gain a lot by exchanging pointers with me. I, Wu Xinghao, am not a vicious and merciless person. You won't be injured or crippled if you fight with me." Qinyan suddenly flew over and landed on the stage. Someone went up. "Moreover, it is a masked man." Seeing this masked man, many people shouted, "Isn't this the uncle who was blasted out by Purple Ice Holy City?" That's right, it's this uncle. I recognize his smiling face mask. He is only a second layer Ascendant Immortal. He actually wants to challenge a third layer Ascendant Immortal of the Sacred Desolate. This guy is truly shameless. Indeed, he even shamelessly went to take the test to participate in Purple Ice Holy City's assessment, but he was kicked out. Didn't Purple Ice Holy City say that they won't accept this kind of arrogant person? Everyone here knows a bit about this uncle. Nangong Shuuru and Xiao Yuelon can immediately tell that the masked man is Qin Yun. They did not say anything because the reason why Qin Yun went up on stage is to obtain core fragments. Chapter 1350. Ing Shuangqing Qinyan knew that He Qiuyong and He Wangqin had hooked up with Purple Ice Sacred City's Sacred Desolate people. That was why Purple Ice Sacred City made that announcement in a magic mirror. I know, Qin Yun said indifferently. Hurry up and start fighting. You'd better leave. If I injure you and accidentally cripple you, then you will definitely say that I am deliberately targeting you. Wu Xinghao said coldly. Wu Xinghao had delicate features and looked quite righteous. At first glance, one could tell that he was an honest and straightforward person. It was normal for him to be fooled by He Qiuyong. I won't scold you. Can we begin? Qin Yun was getting impatient. He just wanted to defeat this guy in front of him as soon as possible and get the core fragment. Wu Xinghao shook his head and said, You are a level 2 Ascendant Immortal. No matter how strong you are, you will not be able to defeat me without resorting to some tricks. As for me, I have never fought a second Heaven Exalted Immortal before. If I accidentally injure you, I will feel guilty. Your Purple Ice Sacred City does not distinguish between right and wrong, saying that I am an arrogant person, truly foolish. Qin Yun suddenly said, You don't even know how He Qiuyong was so arrogant towards me back then, and you actually accepted trash like He Qiuyong. Wu Xinghao said angrily, Uncle, who doesn't know that you were very heavy-handed back then? You even pierced through someone's heart. Of course, our Purple Ice Sacred City will not accept a person like you. Besides, you're just a level 2 Ascendant Immortal. According to our rules, no matter how strong you are, we will not accept you. Qin Yun said with a laugh, That's why you guys from Purple Ice Sacred City are all idiots. I can defeat a level 5 Ascendant Immortal like He Qiuyong. But instead of me, you want to trash like He Qiuyong? Are you insulting our Purple Ice Sacred City? Wu Xinghao was enraged, and many people from the Purple Ice Sacred City were enraged. I'm not insulting you. I'm just telling the truth. Also, it's not just your Purple Ice Sacred City. There aren't many good people from the Sacred Wasteland. For example, those bastards from the Great Desert Sacred City. Back then, they killed many immortal desolate exalted immortals, but your Purple Ice Sacred City did not mention this matter. Qin Yun said with sneer, You don't want to fight because you can't take out the core fragment. Purple Ice Sacred City has no sincerity at all. Many people in the audience had a good impression of Purple Ice Sacred City and immediately reprimanded Qin Yun. Even the people of the Great Desert Holy City are furious. Originally, no one wanted to mention the matter of Pan Shangshi massacring the immortal desolate immortals. But this masked uncle actually said it in front of everyone. Stop right there. I'm willing to fight you. Wu Xinghao shouted loudly. He Qiuyong has already joined our Purple Ice Sacred City. If you insult him, you will be insulting our Purple Ice Sacred City. He Qiuyong is an idiot. Qin Yun laughed out loud. And your Purple Ice Sacred City accepted He Qiuyong. You are a super idiot among idiots, haha. Everyone was startled, and then they cried out. At this moment, they finally saw how arrogant this uncle was. He actually dared to curse the Purple Ice Sacred City in their territory. He Qiuyong and company are overjoyed because they feel that Qin Yun is about to be taught a lesson by the Purple Ice Holy City. The young abstruse immortal of Purple Ice City said coldly, Xinghao, fight him, but we can't cripple him. Let him experience the strength of our Purple Ice Sacred City. To deal with such an arrogant person, we must use absolute power to intimidate him. Qin Yun immediately felt relieved. Otherwise, a hothead like Wu Xinghao would not have fought with him so straightforwardly. He is in a hurry to defeat Wu Xinghao, take away a core fragment, and leave. Wu Xinghao walked to the center of the stage and looked at Qin Yun with a gloomy expression. He said coldly, He Qiuyong is my friend. You once used despicable methods to defeat him. Now, I'm going to defeat you fair and square and avenge him. You are a good person. Unfortunately, you met a tramp like He Qiuyong. You will definitely understand better than me what kind of person he is in the future. Qin Yun chuckled and said, Hurry up and begin. At this time, the Xin immortal boss of the Great Desert Holy City laughed loudly and said, Uncle with a mask, if you can really defeat Wu Xinghao, Our great desert holy city will also give you a core fragment. Boss, aren't you encouraging him to fight Wu Xinghao to the death? Haha, this way, that arrogant uncle will definitely not admit defeat. He will constantly fight with his life on the line, and we will be able to see Wu Xinghao's cruel side. That's right. We promised to give him 10 core fragments, but he got nothing. That guy can't beat him anyway, ha! The people of the great desert holy city roared with laughter. At this moment, everyone knows that the great desert holy city wants to instigate Qin Yun to go crazy and fight with his life on the line. If Purple Eye's sacred cities Wu Xinghao also killed people, then this matter would not be good to hear. Qin Yun said with a smile, "She an immortal of the great desert holy city. You will do as you say. If you don't, then your great desert holy city will be renamed to King 8 Holy City." Everyone secretly admired the courage of that uncle. He actually dared to provoke 2 holy cities. A Xian immortal opened the barrier. The battle is about to begin. In this barrier, one could not use any inscription equipment, so they could not use any methods at all. Qin Yun originally did not want to be so arrogant, but there is no other way. If he does not provoke the Purple Eye's sacred city, they will not agree to fight. Then the core fragment will be ruined. Dang! The bell rang. Wu Xinghao stood motionless on the spot and hooked his finger at Qin Yun. Qin Yun laughed in his heart. He used the passing shadow extinction breath step, making his body and aura suddenly disappear. Wu Xinghao is immediately stunned. He immediately released his strongest mental power to envelop the entire barrier, but he still can't sense Qin Yun. In terms of mental power, Qin Yun is not weaker than Wu Xinghao. It must be known that he cultivates the one-thought imperial heaven art. Wu Xinghao is only a 3rd stage exalted immortal. Even a 9th stage exalted immortal might not be able to guard against Qin Yun's passing shadow extinction breath step. Seeing Qin Yun suddenly disappear, everyone is extremely shocked. Wu Xinghao is very alarmed. Just as he is about to condense all the power in his body, he suddenly discovered that his body is in extreme pain. He can clearly feel that it is the power of a divine ability entering his body. This is the suffering divine ability. It uses mental power to attack, inexplicably entering other people's body. Wu Xinghao screamed in pain. Boom! A super gravity suddenly pressed down. Wu Xinghao can only rely on his sacred body to support himself, but he is still pressed to the ground. Everyone below the stage is dumbstruck. Qin Yun did not appear, but he has beaten his opponent to such a state. Suddenly, Qin Yun appeared. Qin Yun stood behind Wu Xinghao, put 2 fingers together, and pointed at the back of Wu Xinghao's head and said, "Do you want to admit defeat? If you don't, I won't be polite anymore." Everyone can see that Qin Yun's slightly trembling arm is condensing a very terrifying power. It is an incomparably ferocious vibration power that is fluctuating the space. If that power is released, it will definitely smash Wu Xinghao's head. I admit defeat," Wu Xinghao shouted with a terrified voice. Only Wu Xinghao can sense the terrifying power condensed by Qin Yun's arm. That kind of ferocious power is not at all like a 2nd stage exalted immortal. However, everyone knows that Qin Yun was tested to be a 2nd stage exalted immortal, so he could not pass the Purple Eye Sacred City's test. A 2nd stage exalted immortal is so powerful that he can easily defeat a 3rd stage exalted immortal with sacred body and sacred soul. This immediately caused everyone to boil with excitement. At this time, everyone also realized that He Qiuyong and others were not defeated by underhanded means. They were defeated by an open and above-board power. He Qiuyong and He Wangqin are also extremely shocked. They did not expect that Qin Yun could easily defeat Wu Xinghao. Where is the core fragment? Qin Yun looked at Wu Xinghao and asked, "Your Purple Eye's sacred city won't act shamelessly, right? Quickly give me the core fragment." After Wu Xinghao got rid of the pain in his body, he immediately distanced himself from Qin Yun because he knows that Qin Yun is a very dangerous person. He is also extremely shocked in his heart. He did not expect that there would be such a terrifying existence in the immortal desolate. I don't have the core fragment. Only Elder Wu has it. Wu Xinghao looked at a Xian immortal youth below the stage. It is Elder Wu. Qinyan also looked at Elder Wu and said with smile, "Quickly give me the core fragment. I have an urgent matter to attend to." Elder Wu remained silent for a while and said, "You can defeat Wu Xinghao, not bad. However, we are still not sure of your cultivation. The power you displayed is not at the level of a second stage, exalted immortal." "Hey, I'm a second stage, exalted immortal. This is what you tested," Qin Yun very unhappily said. "Do you want to act shamelessly? We want to test it again." After Elder Wu finished speaking, he took out a tool and walked over. Qin Yun agreed to test it again, and the result is the same. He is a second stage, exalted immortal. "Now you can give me the core fragment," Qin Yun said. This. Wu Xinghao fought against a third stage, exalted immortal from Great Desert Sacred City before. He was not at his peak strength. You can't be considered to have defeated him, Elder Wu said in low voice. Hearing his words, everyone burst into an uproar because Purple Ice Sacred City wants to act shamelessly. Xiao Yuelan's clear and cold voice transmitted over. So Purple Ice Sacred City doesn't abide by their promise. Then I, Xiao Yuelan, will withdraw from Purple Ice Sacred City to avoid being cheated in the future. Everyone, it would be best to report this matter to the magic mirror and warn more people. Everyone looked towards the direction of the voice and saw a woman wearing white clothes. Her face is covered with a white veil. An invisible, ice-cold aura spread out along with the voice. Xiao Yuelan is actually here. Many people looked over. They want to see this famous and powerful woman. We lost. This is the core fragment. Elder Wu's expression is unsightly. He barely squeezed out a smile, took out a core fragment, and handed it over to Qinyan. Purple Ice Sacred City's Xian Immortals did not expect that their Sacred Desolate's third stage, Exalted Immortal, would be defeated by a second stage, Exalted Immortal. If they had known earlier, they would not have promised to give the core fragment. Chapter 1351. 1351 Chapter 1351 Dao Aura Might. Although the two holy cities can teleport people from Sacred Desolate through the Sun Altar, the number of people teleported each time is limited, and it also consumes a lot of sacrificial power. If the holy cities want to expand their influence and overall strength in the Immortal Desolate, they must recruit people from the Immortal Desolate. Those holy cities are now very concerned about their reputation. Great Desert Sacred City also used a lot of power to eliminate the negative influence of Pan Shengshi massacring immortals from the Immortal Desolate. Great Desert Sacred City's young leader said that as long as Qinyan defeats Wu Xinghao, he will give Qinyan a core fragment. Qinyan really defeated Wu Xinghao. Even Purple Ice Sacred City's Elder Wu had no choice but to give Qinyan a core fragment. Otherwise, their Purple Ice Sacred City would be regarded as not trustworthy. Great Desert Sacred City, if you don't give me a core fragment, I guarantee that from now on, people will call you King Bastard Sacred City. Qinyan said with smile. If you don't believe me, you can try. Xiao Yuelan also spoke at this time and said, People from Sacred Desolate, don't treat us Immortal Desolate people as fools. If you can't keep your word, who would be willing to follow you? Immortal Desolate people nodded repeatedly. Great Desert Sacred City is in urgent need of recruitment. If this matter were to spread, their reputation would definitely be severely affected. Purple Ice Sacred City's Elder Wu chuckled and said, Is Great Desert Sacred City going to change its name? When the time comes, we will definitely publicize this matter. Isn't it just a core fragment? It's not like your Great Desert Sacred City can't afford it. Great Desert Sacred City's young Xian Immortal gritted his teeth, took out a small box, flew to the battle platform, and handed it to Qinyan. Take it. Qinyan did not say thank you and directly put it away. Qinyan did not expect to obtain 2 core fragments in one go. He felt very happy in his heart. He looked at Xiao Yuelan's direction and felt very grateful to his beautiful wife. Just as Qin Yun was about to leave the battle platform, Great Desert Sacred City's young Xian Immortal suddenly shouted, "Your strength is not bad. Do you want to spar with our Great Desert Sacred City's third layer Exalted Immortal?" "No." Qin Yun immediately refused, then said with smile, "Unless you are willing to take out a core fragment as a seat reward. You have 2 inner core fragments in your hands. Do you want to try your luck? If you win, we'll give you 2. If you lose, you'll give us 2. The young Xian Immortal chuckled. "You should be very confident in your own strength, right?" Qin Yun hesitated for a moment. He felt that the mystic immortals of Great Desert Sacred City couldn't be that strong. So he asked, "Is it a battle?" "It's not a battle, but a palm strike competition. Both of you will stand face to face, and then both of you will suddenly throw out a palm strike to see who is stronger." The young Xian Immortal smiled. "Let's exchange 3 palms. Whoever is still standing after 3 palms will be the winner." "What if both parties are still standing after the 3 strikes? Or if they both collapse?" asked Qin Yun. "Since no one has won or lost, let's call it a day." The Xian Immortal from the Great Desert Sacred City smiled. "Do you dare to come?" "Why not? But I want to sign a soul contract with you," Qin Yun said. "No problem." The Xian Immortal laughed loudly and signed a soul contract with Qin Yun. Wu Xinghao said in low voice, "Even if Great Desert Sacred City doesn't win, they won't lose. That masked uncle's movement technique is quite good. His strength is not that much stronger than mine. It is impossible for a 3rd stage, Exalted Immortal, to fall down when fighting against him." Everyone feels that Wu Xinghao is right, because only Wu Xinghao and Qin Yun have fought before. Elder Wu said with frown, "Great Desert Sacred City can guarantee that they won't lose. Moreover, they have a very high chance of winning. They have a very high chance of winning this time's competition. Maybe these guys will be the biggest winners today." If Great Desert Sacred City wins the 2 inner core fragments from Qin Yun, Purple Eye Sacred City will definitely die of jealousy. Moreover, this matter will also make Great Desert Sacred City boast for a while. After signing the soul contract, Qin Yun secretly relaxed and felt somewhat excited. He originally thought that getting 2 inner core fragments today would be pretty good, but now he has the chance to get 2 more. "Mo Qin Shui, you are the strongest 3rd stage Exalted Immortal in Immortal Desolate. Although you fought against Wu Xinghao before, you were not injured. You must use all your strength to win." Great Desert Sacred City's young Xian Immortal said, "I will definitely win." Mo Qin Shui jumped onto the stage again, causing some women below to let out a burst of tender cries. Mo Qin Shui is wearing white clothes. His long hair is elegant. He has a jade-white, slender, handsome face. He is a kind of feminine beauty, but also a bit handsome, causing many women to like him very much. Qin Yun is wearing a smiling face mask. He is wearing black horse clothes, but his body is more tall and sturdy than Mo Qin Shui. And in terms of imposing manner, Mo Qin Shui is a level higher than Qin Yun. After all, Mo Qin Shui's cultivation is higher than Qin Yun's. Qin Yun saw Mo Qin Shui and Wu Xinghao's fight earlier, so he knows that Mo Qin Shui uses a very feminine power. "Begin." Great Desert Sacred City's young Xian Immortal shouted from aside. Qin Yun and Mo Qin Shui immediately condensed their power on their palms, then took a step forward and attacked. Ho! Both of their palms looked very gentle, but when they struck out, they created a whistling gale. To everyone's surprise, after Qin Yun struck out with his palm, the sleeve on his arm was torn apart by a force. His arm has many blood veins that look like a net, and blood is flowing out. It is obvious that his palm is not lightly injured. After the 2 of them clashed, Qin Yun took 10 steps back, while Mo Qin Shui only took 2 steps back. The people below the stage let out a light cry. This result is also within everyone's expectations. Masked Uncle's movement technique is first-rate, but his power is lacking. How can he compete with someone with sacred body and sacred spirit in terms of power? Indeed, This kind of competition is to restrict the masked uncle's incomparably outstanding movement technique. Masked uncle miscalculated. If he fought directly, he would have a high chance of winning by relying on his superb movement technique. Everyone had just discussed the reason why Wu Xinghao was defeated. It was because he underestimated the opponent's movement technique that he was caught unprepared. Again, Mo Qinshui shouted, immediately rushed over and struck Qin Yun's palm again. Qin Yun's arm is extremely seriously injured. He also knows that he underestimated the opponent's power. The immortal power released by Sacred Body and Sacred Spirit is indeed very terrifying. The most fatal thing is that there is a very strange, sinister poison in that power. At this moment, Qin Yun only feels that the bones and flesh of his arm are being bitten by the Yin power. It has a kind of numbing and powerless feeling. It is extremely difficult to lift it up. Moreover, Mo Qinshui rushed over so quickly to prevent him from condensing power or self-healing. Boom! Qin Yun raised his injured arm with difficulty and once again faced Mo Qinshui's palm. This time, a loud explosion occurred. Qin Yun's arm, which was originally full of blood, was shaken and burst out a black blood mist. The black, poisonous blood mist floated in the air and emitted a stench. Everyone is dumbstruck. Mo Qinshui's power actually contains a very strange poison. And the most shocking thing is that Qin Yun's arm is already rotten to the point where it can't be any more rotten, but it is still hanging on his shoulder. It seems like his bones are not damaged at all. Many people from Sacred Desolate present let out a burst of exclamation. It's Sacred Body. That guy cultivated Sacred Body. Wu Xinghao shouted in alarm. How is this possible? He is just a second-layer exalted immortal. How can he cultivate Sacred Body in Immortal Desolate with his own ability? Elder Wu is also very surprised. Great Desert Sacred City's Yang Xian Immortal widened his eyes as he looked at Qin Yun's injured arm. It was filled with golden sacred light. This was indeed a genuine Sacred Body, and a rather strong one at that. The group of exalted immortals and Xian immortals from Sacred Desolate are all in disbelief. They are tongue-tied as they looked at Qin Yun on the battle stage. At this moment, Purple-Eyed Sacred City's people are the most regretful. They have already been laughed at by others, because they rejected such an outstanding person just because he was a second-layer exalted immortal. Wu Xinghao tightly clenched his fists. He now understands that Qin Yun's immortal power is not weak at all. Little Phoenix saw that Qin Yun's arm is heavily injured and felt very distressed. She quickly walked over to Nangong Shuru's side. Qin Yun is wearing a mask, so no one can see his expression. However, from his tall and sturdy body, it can be seen that he is not affected by the pain at all. Sacred Body's recovery power is very strong. Mo Qinshui hastily rushed up. His expression is very sinister. His palm is releasing a black poison aura. It is clear that this is a very fatal attack. Mo Qinshui used his strongest Yin poison power to get those two core fragments. Qin Yun did not use any power in his previous two palm strikes because he wanted to condense the power of his third palm strike. Because Mo Qinshui's attacks are very fast, Qin Yun's condensed power in a short period of time is not enough to completely knock Mo Qinshui down. That is why Qin Yun gave up on attacking with his first two palm strikes and chose to let one of his arms be destroyed to buy time to condense his strongest third palm strike. Mo Qinshui's third palm strike is also very strong. It is filled with dense poison aura and released a fishy stench that floated around the battle stage. Qin Yun's other arm is still intact. Everyone can see that it is his only hope to win. Mo Qinshui arrived. Qin Yun's arm shook and ferociously pushed out a palm strike. His palm looks like it is holding a throbbing black thunder and lightning. Rumble. Two palms collided together. Ferocious vibration power accompanied by heavenly might aura rushed out. Mo Qinshui let out a miserable scream. Many black thunder aura suddenly burst out from his body. His clothes were torn to shreds, and black thunder aura rushed out from under his skin. Mo Qinshui, Great Desert Sacred City's Yang Xian Immortal immediately rushed over. But after a boom sound, Mo Qinshuai's body was torn apart by the Black Thunder aura and exploded. Qin slightly clenched his fist. Just now, he used Heavenly Might Dao Art's second layer, Heavenly Might Dao Aura, and directly destroyed Mo Qinshuai's defense. Then he sent the ferocious vibration power and Heavenly Might Dao Aura into Mo Qinshuai's body. Even Qin Yun himself is afraid of the Heavenly Might Dao Aura's power. It actually directly tore apart a third firmament exalted immortal who cultivated a sacred body. Mo Qinshuai's body turned into many fragments and scattered on the battle stage. Along with a fishy stench, poisonous wind drifted out. Wu Xinghao cannot help but tremble. Mo Qinshuai, who just defeated him, was killed by the masked man with one palm strike. Chapter 1352. Devil Immortal Torture Technique 1352. Devil Immortal Torture Technique died in Great Desert Sacred City. Moreover, his aptitude is very good. Great Desert Sacred City's people are filled with righteous indignation. Each and every one of them are filled with killing intent, as if they are ready to kill at any moment. You are truly ruthless. Great Desert Sacred City's Xian Immortal glared at Qin Yun. His deep and cold voice is slightly trembling. He is suppressing his anger. Could it be that Mo Qinshuai is not ruthless? If I am not ruthless, the one who will die will be me. Qin Yun's voice is calm and fearless. He stretched out his hand and said, "We agreed, 2 core fragments." Great Desert Sacred City's Xian Immortal's eyes are filled with killing intent. He took out 2 core fragments and placed them in Qin Yun's palm. The moment Qin Yun took the core fragment, he immediately used Passing Shadow, Extinction Breath Step. Bang! That Xian Immortal also quickly attacked Qin Yun. And Qin Yun has already flown over the battle stage. So. Suddenly, several people wearing black robes appeared from the crowd. Their bodies are releasing very strong Xian Immortal power. They're people from Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. They have tools in their hands that can detect Qin Yun. Their cultivation is much higher than Qin Yun's. After flying out, they released a net and trapped Qin Yun. A middle-aged Xian Immortal from Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate let out a series of wild laughter and then flew away with the other 2 Xian Immortals. The masked uncle who obtained 4 core fragments has been captured by Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. Although everyone is shocked, they're not too surprised because this is in line with Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate style. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, these bastards. Xiao Yulan's expression is gloomy and cold. She held a white, long saber and flew out, but it is already too late. She cannot catch up to Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate's Xian Immortal, but she has the soul-chasing talisman and knows where Qin Yun is. Nangong Shiru also arrived beside Xiao Yulan. Purple Ice Sacred City's Xian Immortal suddenly flew over and blocked their path. "Scram, don't block me," Xiao Yulan shouted in cold anger. "I want to save my friend." "You'll also die if you chase," Elder Wu shouted. "Guanghan Palace's young lady Gao told us to take good care of you. Hurry up and scram." Xiao Yulan furiously waved her saber at a Xian Immortal. Nangong Shueru's beautiful eyes flickered with killing intent. She took out several immortal talismans and said in cold voice, "Don't block us." Nobody expected that the masked uncle would be a friend of Xiao Yulan and Nangong Shiru. Moreover, their relationship is very good. When He Qiuyong and He Wangqin saw this, they were extremely jealous. It must be known that Xiao Yulan and Nangong Shiru usually keep people at a distance of 1,000 miles. They always put on a cold and arrogant attitude, and yet they are so concerned about the masked uncle. With one look, one can tell that their relationship is not ordinary. What made them happy is that Qin Yun has been captured by the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. One could well imagine the outcome. If we can't save him, then why don't you save him? Xiao Yulan said coldly. Who is that guy to us? Why should we save him? A Xian Immortal from Purple Ice Holy City said coldly. Xiao Yulan gritted her teeth. and looked at the crowd below. She saw a few black-robed people. They are devil immortal heavenly gates upper immortals. Nangang Shuru raised her hand and shot out a few white thorns towards those black-robed people. Soon after, Xiao Yuan landed on the ground and rushed towards those black-robed people. She brandished her saber a few times and chopped those black-robed people into 8 pieces. Those pieces flew everywhere. At this time, Nangang Shuru and Xiao Yuan continued to fly out to save Qingyun. However, Purple Ice Holy City's people are still blocking them. Purple Ice Holy City, remember this. Xiao Yuan coldly looked at Elder Wu. I, Xiao Yuan, will withdraw from Purple Ice Holy City. I will also withdraw. Nangang Shuru is very angry. Even after they announced their withdrawal, they were still blocked by Purple Ice Holy City's people. Even if they chased after them, the devil immortal heavenly gates, Xian immortals, have already brought Qingyun far away. Roar! A nether realm heavenly lion suddenly appeared, filled with killing intent. Purple Ice Holy City, if you block me again, I will kill all of your Purple Ice Holy City's upper immortals. I will keep my word. Xiao Yuan's monstrous killing intent attracted a burst of thick black clouds that enveloped the sky. Even Xian immortals feel an indescribable fear. Yuan, enough. An indifferent voice suddenly arrived from the distance. A tall and thin old woman flew over. Elder Wu sighed and said, Miss Gao, you finally came? Your Guanghan Palace's girls are truly scary. Who is that person? Why are you saving him? Miss Gao already learned about the situation when she arrived. Xiao Yuan immediately took out the devil mirror and contacted Xian Rujing. Xian Rujing's position in Guanghan Palace is very high. Even Great Palace Master Yu listens to Xian Rujing's suggestion. After Xiao Yuan informed Xian Rujing about the situation, she handed over the devil mirror to Miss Gao. Miss Gao, no matter what, you must bring him back. Xian Rujing is very anxious. She is very clear about devil immortal heavenly gates methods. If Qingyun is captured, the consequences can be imagined. Xiao Yuan took out the spirit-chasing talisman, and her expression suddenly changed. Because the talisman cannot sense Qingyun's location. He has been placed in a storage magic tool. Nangang Shiru's ice-cold eyes fiercely looked at Purple Ice Sacred City's Xian immortals and furiously said, It's all because of you bunch of idiots. You didn't save him and instead obstructed us. I'm not finished with you. Elder Wu and other Purple Ice Sacred Cities Xian immortals looked at each other in dismay. They dodged each other's gaze. They don't dare to look directly at Xiao Yuan and Nangang Shiru because they had the opportunity to save Qingyun. Purple Ice Sacred City, you must have reached a tacit understanding with Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. If you don't save him, Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate will return a core fragment to you, right? Xiao Yuan's beautiful eyes are filled with killing intent. She suddenly realized why Purple Ice Sacred City did not save Qingyun and even obstructed them. Xiao Yuan and Nangang Shuru are filled with incomparable anger. Then they return to Luo Tian City with Little Phoenix. Everyone here can see that Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and Great Desert Sacred City have joined hands. It is related to several core fragments. Even Purple Ice Sacred City tacitly allowed Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate to capture Qingyun. If Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate obtained a core fragment in Qingyun's hands, they would definitely return one to Purple Ice Sacred City. Otherwise, Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate would definitely be targeted by Purple Ice Sacred City. The news spread like wildfire. After Shimin Qinglian found out, she immediately returned to Yalanin. She saw Nangang Shuru and Xiao Yuan's unsightly expression and is secretly astonished. She now realized that Qingyun knows Xiao Yuan. And last night, Qingyun deliberately teased her, saying that he wanted her to help chase after Xiao Yuan. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate, these bastards. And Purple Ice Sacred City, they are all the same. Xiao Yuan cursed. She is now also contacting Luo Weizhuang. Luo Weizhuang found out that the uncle is Qingyun. He immediately contacted his elders and asked for Xian Immortal support. Shimin Qinglian also contacted her father Shimin Chongtian. Shimin Chongtian learned that his benefactor was captured by Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and became very angry. He immediately issued an announcement, telling Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate to release his benefactor or else they will become his enemy. In addition, Shimin Chongtian canceled his cooperation with Purple Eye Sacred City, saying that Purple Eye Sacred City is a group of untrustworthy people. Purple Eye Sacred City's people really did not expect that the masked uncle's position would be so high. Luo family and Shimin family are pressuring Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate is naturally not afraid of these two powers pressuring them because they could get a share of the core fragment. Even a fragment of the core was very precious. After all, it is something that can cultivate sacred spirit, sacred body. Qin Yun was captured by Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate people and locked inside a special small pagoda. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate often does this kind of shady business. They are very proficient in sealing people inside a space to prevent them from being found. They know that Qin Yun has a very strong divine ability power, so the small pagoda can resist divine ability power. The small pagoda is deep underground. Even Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate people would not be able to find it easily. The small pagoda also has a special space isolation power. Qin Yun's heart is pierced by a chain, and his entire body is bound by very strong chains. He is unable to release immortal power, and he also has no way to release divine ability power. As expected of a guy who cultivated sacred body, he is truly awesome. His recovery ability is very strong. A black-robed middle-aged man took Qin Yun's smiling face mask and said with cold smile, Qin Yun is bound by chains and is also seriously injured. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate people don't dare to kill him, because if they kill him, they won't be able to obtain the core fragment. They are very clear that the core fragment is inside Qin Yun's storage magic tool. If Qin Yun dies, the storage magic tool won't be able to open it. You will definitely regret provoking me. Qin Yun's expression is ice-cold and gloomy as he looked at those Xian immortals. Ha! Why should we regret it? Don't tell me you can turn things around? A black-robed middle-aged man said with sneer, Right now, even my Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate can't find us. I will only leave after I complete the mission. The black-robed middle-aged man took out a barbed rod and fiercely stabbed Qin Yun's body. Then he laughed sinisterly. Qin Yun immediately roared in pain. Come, I will let you have a taste of our Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate's torture. There aren't many, only 100 or so. That black-robed middle-aged man laughed sinisterly and took out some tools. As long as you hand over the core fragment, we will let you feel a bit better. A middle-aged man touched Qin Yun's head, then took out a fork and stabbed it into Qin Yun's shoulder bone. He poured in very strong thunder and lightning power. Qin Yun's body immediately twitched violently. Good. You actually didn't scream. Your bones are quite hard. That black-robed man laughed mischievously. Let us do it. Another black-robed, middle-aged man took out several long thorns. All of them have barbs. He stabbed them into several vital parts of Qin Yun's body and then pulled them out. These three Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate Xian immortals took turns to use all kinds of torture methods to torture Qin Yun. They constantly laughed and cursed, destroying Qin Yun's formidable body. Ling Yuner said, Xiao Yun, now that you have fallen into this kind of dangerous situation, it will be very difficult for you to escape. Now there is only one way. I will stop controlling the Nether Sun and let its power go out of control. Then I will cooperate with you to erupt with your most evil side. We should be able to deal with them. Then we will see if you can suppress the Nether Sun that has gone out of control and you who has entered devil state. Come, I won't suppress my evil nature. I will erupt completely. Only this way can I let these three guys know what a true evil devil is. Qin Yun is incomparably furious in his heart as he looked at the three Xian immortals who are torturing him. Several hours passed by. The three Xian immortals of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate are also tired, but they are still torturing Qin Yun with evil grins. Suddenly, they discover that Qin Yun's eyes are overflowing with black gas. Moreover, his tormented and battered body is surging with baleful aura filled with anger. Chapter 1353. Comprehension of the heavenly Dao. Qin Yun's body is now wrapped in black energy, and an incomparably terrifying power surged out. The three Xian immortals of the devil, immortal heavenly sect, sensed the terrifying evil power, and their expressions changed greatly in fright. Qin Yun's body constantly struggled as he let out deep roars. He looks like a demon that has lost control. Don't be afraid, he's tied up by chains. A black-robed, middle-aged man mustered up his courage and said, "What's going on with this guy? How can such a terrifying evil power be hidden in his body?" "I don't know. He can cultivate sacred body. His background is definitely not small. Could he be a member of a hidden family? Will we cause trouble for the devil immortal heavenly sect? Among the hidden families, only those inscription families can shake our devil immortal heavenly sect if they join forces. There's nothing to be afraid of." "Then what should we do now? This guy seems to have lost his mind and has completely turned into a devil. It's impossible for him to give us the core fragment." These three Xian immortals of the devil immortal heavenly sect. At this moment, they are also in a dilemma. They looked at Qin Yun, who is constantly struggling and roaring and cursed in their hearts. They never expected that Qin Yun would suddenly become like this. In the past, they had tortured many people, but those people were either tortured to death or were tortured to the point of admitting defeat and then obediently cooperated. And Qin Yun has been tortured by them for so long. Not only did he not die, he also did not surrender. Therefore, they felt that it was nothing and continued to torture Qin Yun. They never expected that Qin Yun would enter this state. A middle-aged man looked at Qin Yun and said with fear, "Our devil immortal heavenly sect's ancient books have recorded that people who enter this state are all hiding a very strong power in their bodies. That power is not easy to control and also has an evil nature. If you can't suppress it, it will erupt. Then let's quickly get rid of him. What's the hurry? Even if this guy loses control, he won't be that strong. He is only a second-level immortal, and we are Xian immortals. Can't we three Xian immortals suppress him?" While they were discussing, the chains on Qin Yun's body suddenly merged with his flesh and blood. "Big brother, his body swallow that chain? That chain is a top-grade immortal tool. Quickly get rid of him." Qin Yun's flesh and blood is now black and has extremely powerful devouring and dissolving power. This is the terrifying power of the Nether Sun Roar. Qin Yun had already turned into a person wrapped in black gas. It was impossible to see his face. He was like a demon. He let out a roar that made people's hair stand on end. A middle-aged Xian immortal slashed down at Qin Yun with a saber in hand. That saber is a high-grade immortal tool, but when it hit Qin Yun's body, it suddenly disappeared. The other two middle-aged Xian immortals also attacked with their weapons, sending out waves of Xian immortal force. What made them incomparably terrified was that Qin Yun's body was like a bottomless pit. Any power that landed on his body would sink in, as if it was being dissolved and devoured by his flesh and blood. Qin Yun kept roaring as he slowly walked towards the three Xian immortals. He walked very slowly, but everything around him flew towards him like crazy. When those torture instruments came into contact with the black gas released from Qin Yun's body, they were all dissolved into energy. What was going on? A middle-aged Xian immortal was terrified to the extreme and shouted in a trembling voice. The three Xian immortals' strongest attacks landed on Qin Yun, but they were like stones sinking into the sea. They were unable to make Qin Yun retreat at all. Suddenly, a Xian immortal was grabbed by a claw formed from black gas. That Xian immortal screamed miserably as he was dragged by the claw. When he got close to Qin Yun, he was sent flying and crashed into Qin Yun's body, disappearing without a trace. This scared the two Xian immortals so much that they involuntarily cried out. Powerful Xian immortals were dissolved just by touching Qin Yun's body. "Big brother, We know our wrongs. We know our wrongs. Spare us. We are willing to be your cow and horse from now on. Those two Qian immortals were so scared that they immediately knelt down and begged for mercy. They have never seen such a dreadful thing before. Even devils are not this frightening. Qin Yun's body is filled with black gas that produces a very strong suction force. Those two kneeling Qian immortals were suddenly sucked towards Qin Yun's body. They wanted to run, but they were unable to escape from that suction force. When the two middle-aged men got close to Qin Yun, their bodies were suddenly distorted and stretched. Then they were slowly sucked into Qin Yun's body, as if they turned into smoke and were being sucked away. Roar! Qin Yun, who has lost his mind, let out an angry roar and kept ramming into the pagoda's walls. Although his body has a very strong melting and devouring power, he is unable to break through the pagoda's walls. From this, it can be seen that the pagoda's barrier is very strong. Boom, boom, boom. The crazy Qin Yun has completely lost his mind. He only wants to run out and release the power in his body. He kept ramming into the walls. The small pagoda shook from the impact and issued a series of trembling sounds. Xiao Yun, Xiao Yun. Ling Yuner kept shouting. She is very anxious. This is her idea. Moreover, she has completely released the power of the Nether Sun. Now, she is unable to suppress the Nether Sun. Because the power of the Nether Sun is being controlled by an evil thought, Ling Yuner is unable to regain control. If this continues, Xiao Yin will be finished. The soul is very anxious. She can only keep shouting. Qin Yin did not hear Ling Yuner's shouts. He is still shouting and randomly ramming into the walls of the small pagoda. He wants to run out. Last time, Ling Yuner was able to communicate with Bing Xing and let her suppress the evil thought in Qin Yun's heart. But now, there is no one nearby. Ling Yuner can do nothing. Kill, kill, kill. Qin Yun suddenly shouted. Xiao Yun, quickly recover. If this goes on, when you see Yuan and Big Sister Yang in the future, you will kill them. Ling Yuner shouted again. Kill, kill, kill. Qin Yun is still shouting. Ling Yuner did not expect that the evil thought in Qin Yun's heart would be so heavy. Now, she is very regretful that she completely released the power of the Nether Sun. Qin Yun is trapped in the small pagoda and is temporarily unable to leave. However, his Nether Sun's power is very strong. Sooner or later, he will break through the small pagoda. Qin Yun, who has turned into an evil devil, only has killing intent in his heart. Xiao Yun, quickly suppress the evil thought. As long as you suppress the evil thought, I will be able to regain control of the Nether Sun. Ling Yuner shouted. Qin Yun did not hear Ling Yuner's words at all. Ling Yuner is in despair. Qin Yun's soul has completely transformed into a devil. It is as if it has been completely corroded by evil devil power. It is impossible to recover. While she is crying in anxiety, Qin Yun's body suddenly overflowed with many faint golden light ribbons. It is the heavenly Tao divine rune. Ling Yuner is pleasantly surprised. The heavenly Tao divine rune sealed inside the Nether Sun suddenly appeared. Ling Yuner did not expect it. The heavenly Tao divine rune is like countless light threads that wrapped around Qin Yun's body. Ling Yuner suddenly sensed that the Nether Sun has returned to her control, and the heavenly Tao divine rune light threads wrapped around Qin Yun's body suddenly entered the Nether Sun, as if they are sleeping inside. Qin Yun's body is still extremely tattered, but it is overflowing with faint holy light. His sacred body is repairing itself. Too dangerous. Next time, no matter what, we can't take such a risk. Ling Yuner finally let out a sigh of relief. Then she began observing the heavenly Tao divine rune inside the Nether Sun. The heavenly Tao divine rune is very peculiar. It was originally sealed inside the Nether Sun. But after Ling Yuner released all the power of the Nether Sun, the heavenly Tao divine rune also came out, but did not slip away. Moreover, at the most critical moment, it suppressed the devil nature in Qin Yun's body. Now, the heavenly Tao divine rune is not in a sealed state. Instead, it is hiding inside the nether sun. It can even hide inside the nether sun and not be discovered by Qin Yun and Ling Yuner. Qin Yun laid inside the small pagoda for several days and finally woke up. He felt a splitting headache and he is unable to move his body. What happened? Qin Yun asked in very weak voice. You were almost done for. Ling Yuner said. Where are those guys? Qin Yun, who is lying on the ground, turned his head with great difficulty and looked all around. This place is completely empty. They all ran away. They were all killed by you. Soon after, Ling Yuner told Qin Yun about the process of killing those 3 Xian immortals. After Qin Yun heard this, he is very surprised. He did not expect that the power of the nether sun would be so dreadful. Then what about their power? Qin Yun asked. Did the nether sun devour those 3? Majority of them dissipated. You devoured them when you entered devil possession. Those energies are filled with evil devil energy. Only a small portion is preserved inside the nether sun. You can try to refine them. Ling Yuner sighed in lingering fear and said again, Xiao Yun, I won't dare to take risks next time. Fortunately, the heavenly Tao divine rune suppressed the evil devil energy in your body. Moreover, it seems like the heavenly Tao divine rune was damaged because of this, so it hid inside the nether sun and did not leave you. Qin Yun is very clear that the reason he was able to recover is because of the heavenly Tao divine rune. Otherwise, with his willpower, he would not have been able to return to his original state. Yuner, I suddenly had some enlightenment. I don't know if it is because of the heavenly Tao divine rune. Qin Yun said, It should be. Heavenly Tao divine rune seems to have gradually approved of you. That is why you can sense the power of the heavenly Tao. Ling Yuner said, This is also a blessing in disguise. Qin Yun looked all around and discovered that this small pagoda is very good. It can actually resist his crazed state. Moreover, it can isolate space, so his devil mirror cannot receive news from outside. He was trapped here as well. Don't rush out. First, refine the energy inside the nether sun. Although most of the energy of those 3 Xian immortals turned into evil devil energy and dissipated, the nether sun has preserved a lot of pure energy. Ling Yuner said. Qin Yun closed his eyes. Through this, he suddenly obtained a very rare enlightenment. Chapter 1354. 1354 Chapter 1354 Ferocious Fire Frenzy. After Qin Yun cultivated a mortal devil sacred body, he did not comprehend the most powerful power of a mortal devil sacred body. But now, he suddenly comprehended some difficult parts of a mortal devil sacred body art. Xiao Yun, you have always been afraid of falling into devil Tao, so you did not dare to use devil power. Ling Yuner said, But a mortal devil sacred body is suppressed by immortal power, and devil power can only help a mortal power become stronger. I don't need to be afraid. Qin Yun nodded. Now he's refining the energy inside nether sun to attack 3rd level of upper immortal realm. Apart from comprehending the key of immortal devil sacred body art, he also comprehended the heavenly Tao. This kind of comprehension is also sudden, and it is the power of heavenly Tao that he believes to be. When I broke through to upper immortal realm, nether sun cultivated a small heavenly lion. I always thought that it should be heavenly lion attribute power and should be used together with heavenly lion totem martial arts, but now I feel that it is not the case. Qin Yun looked at the small heavenly lion revolving around nether sun and said in his heart, If I only cultivate heavenly lion attribute power, then it is too simple. There are 9 levels in upper immortal realm. First, a 3rd level should strengthen the aura of immortal power and make it stronger. Xiao Yun, what do you think heavenly lion's power represents? Ling Yuner asked. Fierce. The fierce power of heavenly Tao. Qin Yun said with certainty. This is my heavenly Tao? My heavenly Tao. Number 1 is to be fierce enough. Fierce to enemies, fierce to evil spirits. Ling Yun nodded with smile and said, First to third level of upper immortal realm is to cultivate the fierce power of heavenly Tao. Then what about fourth to sixth level? Qinyan thought for a moment and said, wild. Moreover, it is wildfire. Because I am an inscription master, I must strengthen my flame. Fourth to sixth level is to cultivate wildfire. Seventh to ninth level is to cultivate arrogance. The arrogance of heavenly Tao is a must, and in this aspect, it should be to cultivate spirit. My arrogance and divine might must be able to deter enemies. Xiao Yun, after experiencing this tempering, you will definitely become stronger. Your current cultivation direction is also gradually becoming clear. Ling Yun said with a smile. This is the cultivation path that you have comprehended yourself. It is your own heavenly Tao. Qinyan nodded and closed his eyes to focus on cultivation. More than 10 days passed. When Qinyan opened his eyes, his gaze was filled with a ferocious aura. He clenched his fist. Nether Sun's immortal power was released through the little lion. It brought along a very ferocious power. When he punched out, it was accompanied by the heavenly might of the great path, as if it was the ferocious might of the heavenly path. Devil immortal heavenly gate, great desert sacred city, you shouldn't have provoked me. When Qin Yin thought of this matter, his ferocious power could not help but surge out. Xiao Yun, where's the bottle of pills Shui Ru gave you? Ling Yin said, quickly eat it. Maybe you can break through. The bottle of pills Nangong Shuru gave him will help him break through to upper immortal realm. Qin Yin ate more than 10 pills in one go and began cultivating. His ferocious heavenly lion had already been successfully cultivated, and the next step was to cultivate wild flame. I wonder what Huo Kuang's form is. Qin Yin is very curious. He feels that whether it is Huo Kuang or Tian Ao, both of them should have their own form. The bottle of pills Nangong Shuru gave him is very useful. After eating it, Qin Yin sensed a burst of energy erupting from his body. First it entered the nether sun and was refined, then it rushed out to temper his body and condense even stronger energy. Could it be that Shuiru used the energy released by the sacred infant fruit to refine it? Qin Yin is very doubtful because this is energy. It does not look like it was refined with immortal medicine. Sister Shuiru is very good to you, Ling Yun said with smile. And I wonder how Shuiru and Yuelan are doing now. Qin Yin knows Xiao Yuelan very well. He is very worried now. Although Xiao Yuelan has lost a portion of her memories, her feelings for Qin Yin have never changed. She is willing to do anything for Qin Yin. Nangong Shuru and Xiao Yuelan are still at Yalanin. It is not that they have not done anything. They have been inquiring about the whereabouts of Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate and Totem Pavilion's people. As long as they are not Xian Immortals, they will go and kill them. What is most shocking is that many of Great Desert Sacred City's 9th layer immortals have died. They are all 9th layer immortals who cultivated Saint Body and Saint Spirit. Great Desert Sacred City suspects that Xiao Yuelan and Nangong Shuru did it, but they can't do anything because the strongest people in Great Desert Sacred City are Xian Immortals. They don't dare to go to the Guanghan Palace. So many days have passed. Xiao Yuelan and Nangong Shuru have been waiting for Qin Yun's news. They're constantly looking at the soul-chasing talismans, but there is no reaction at all. Shimin Qinglian arrived at Nangong Shuru's small building and saw Xiao Yuelan sitting in the living room. She said in alarm and anxiously, I just heard that those 3 Xian Immortals who captured Uncle are all dead. Their life pearls have shattered. Someone save Xiao Yun? Xiao Yuelan said in pleasant surprise. I don't know, but I can confirm that those Xian Immortals died more than 10 days ago. Shimin Qinglian said, if Xiao Yun was saved, he should have contacted us. Could it be that his injuries are too heavy? Xiao Yuelan looked at the soul-chasing talismans in her hand and said with frown, his talismans are useless. Could it be that he is too far away? Uncle should be fine. Shimin Qinglian said in low voice, Sister Yuelan, you don't need to be so worried. Uncle is very awesome. Back then, he easily saved me and my father. He can definitely save himself. Shimin Qinglian has always been very curious about the relationship between Qin Yun, Xiao Yuelon, and Nangang Shiru, but she didn't dare to ask. Nangang Shiru returned from outside and said with light sigh, Yuelon, Miss Gao is urging us to join Purple Ice Sacred City again. I won't go. Those bastards from Purple Ice Sacred City. It is already good that I didn't settle accounts with them, Xiao Yuelon said coldly. If those Xian immortals from Purple Ice Sacred City did not stop us, Xiao Yun would not have been taken away. Indeed, I won't join Purple Ice Sacred City anyways. Nangang Shiru lightly groaned and said, Those bastards from Purple Ice Sacred City only look good on the surface, but they secretly look down on us immortal, desolate people. Xiao Yuelon said with sneer, Sister Shiru, go tell those bastards from Purple Ice Sacred City. If their 9th stage upper immortals can defeat me, I will join their Purple Ice Sacred City. If they can't defeat me, tell them to scram as far as possible. Those idiots from Purple Ice Sacred City blocked us from saving Xiao Yun. We can't let them off so easily. Even if we don't kill their people, I, Xiao Yuelon, will let them know that we immortal desolate people are not inferior to them. Shimin Qinglian looked at Xiao Yuelon with a face full of worship and nodded. Sister Yuelon said it well. We must teach them a lesson. Now, the people of Immortal Desolate can't wait to curry favor with those bastards from Sacred Desolate. Each and every one of them is kneeling down and licking their boots. Their battle stage is still outside, right? I want to see who among those cowards dares to challenge me. Xiao Yuelon arrogantly said, Let's go. I will go smash their place and call old Luo and the others. Shimin Qinglian immediately sent a message to her friends, asking them to come over and post the news on the magic mirror. The main reason is that Purple Ice Sacred City's 9th stage upper immortals are arrogant and look down on Immortal Desolate's upper immortals. Therefore, Xiao Yuelon wants to challenge them. This news very quickly caused an uproar in Luo Tian City. In the past few days, there have been many people who are dissatisfied with Purple Ice Sacred City, because some of the youths of Purple Ice Sacred City are very arrogant in Luo Tian City, using their power to bully others. Fortunately, Luo family was not willing to be outdone and captured several people from Purple Ice Sacred City. Purple Ice Sacred City's Elder Wu also felt somewhat embarrassed. However, even if he strictly warned those youths, he still couldn't stop those arrogant youth from bullying others. Outside Luo Tian City's city gate, on the light golden battle stage, the cold and beautiful Xiao Yuelon is wearing a white outfit, coldly looking at the mansion. Miss Gao, Elder Wu, and a group of people quickly walked out. Yuelon, what are you doing? Miss Gao said in a deep voice, Hurry up and come down. I want to challenge Purple Ice Sacred City's 9th stage upper immortals. Xiao Yuelon said, I want to see how strong they are. Otherwise, don't always let us join Purple Ice Sacred City. Miss Gao said in low voice, Yuelon, there are benefits for us to join Purple Ice Sacred City. Those bastards from Purple Ice Sacred City, not only did they not save us back then, they even stopped us. Isn't it just for that core fragment? For the core fragment, what can't they do? If we join them, we won't even know when we'll be harmed by them. Xiao Yuelon said coldly. Luo Weizhuang called over a few Luo family Xian immortals to support them, so Purple Ice Sacred City's side didn't dare to act recklessly. If your Guanghan Palace doesn't join our Purple Ice Sacred City, it will be your loss. At that time, all the other powers will have inscription beasts and you won't. You will fall behind others. Purple Ice Sacred City's Elder Wu said indifferently. Bullshit. When it comes to inscription beasts, who can compare to my Shimin family? Shimin Qinglian said unhappily, Your Purple Ice Sacred City is bragging so loudly. Have you ever successfully subdued an inscription beast? None at all. It's not even as good as our Shimin family. Qinglian, pay attention. Miss Gao shouted coldly. Pay attention to what? Am I not telling the truth? Purple Ice Sacred City doesn't have any ability. They only rely on tricking everyone into entering Purple Ice Sacred City to die. The Purple Ice Mountain Range where Purple Ice Sacred City is located is a Xian immortal holy land. If we, little exalted immortals. Enter, we will die without a doubt. We might as well go to the immortal Xian Desert. Shimin Qinglian snorted and said, Grandma, you were kicked out of the Shimin family. You don't even understand our Shimin family's matters. Miss Gao is a powerful Xian immortal. Now she is stamping with rage, but she can't do anything. She is also afraid of the Shimin family. Xiao Yuelon, these past few days, you've killed dozens of upper immortals from my devil immortal heavenly gate. Today, you're dead for sure. The person who spoke flew over from the distance. He is a middle-aged man. His aura is that of a Xian immortal, but it is rather weak. He should have just become a Xian immortal. Idiot from the devil immortal heavenly gate. You actually dare to come and die. Xiao Yuelon summoned a long saber and charged towards the Xian immortal. A 9th-stage upper immortal actually wants to fight against a Xian immortal. Chapter 1355. Fire hammered the devil immortal heavenly gates. Xian immortal saw that Xiao Yuelon was still far away, but in the blink of an eye, she flew over and slashed with her saber. While he was shocked, he quickly took out a black crescent shovel. Little girl, don't be too arrogant. The devil immortal heavenly gates, Xian immortal shouted loudly in anger. The crescent moon spade swept forward, dragging a thick demonic light arc as it struck towards the snow-white saber in Xiao Yuelon's hand. Dang! Xiao Yuelon did not have the time to dodge. The saber in her hand was struck by the crescent moon spade, causing it to tremble. However, it did not fly out of her hand, and the saber did not have any damage. It was still very stable and carried a very strong immortal power. On the other hand, the black crescent moon shovel was shaken so violently that black gas surged, as if it was frightened. Xiao Yuelon is a 9th firmament exalted immortal, yet her immortal power is on par with a Xian immortal. The spectators all felt that this was inconceivable and exclaimed endlessly. At that moment, the abstruse immortal sky gate's abstruse immortal's face was burning. He, a middle-aged abstruse immortal, was actually being suppressed by a little 9th-tier exalted immortal. You overestimate yourself. Xiao Yuelon shouted coldly. The snow-white saber suddenly turned red. A bewitching bloody light shot out in all directions, filled with a dense death aura. Who? Xiao Yuelon slashed with her saber again. Powerful immortal energy swept out along with the saber. Like a blood-colored umbrella, it enveloped the middle-aged Xian immortal. Break! The devil immortal heavenly gates, Xian immortal, was also very strong. The crescent spade in his hand swept out continuously. The black demonic aura was like a surging wave as it charged towards the blood-colored umbrella formed by the blade energy. Hua hua hua! 2 strands of immortal force collided violently, causing violent gales to sweep out, and it blew everyone to the point of repeatedly releasing their protective barriers to resist it. Seeing how powerful Xiao Yuelon is, everyone is alarmed. They are even more amazed at Xiao Yuelon's terrifying immortal power. Even if Xiao Yuelon is no match for the middle-aged Xian immortal, she can still be proud of her power, since she dared to challenge a 9th-layer exalted immortal of the sacred wilderness. She had the confidence to do so. I, Xiao Yuelon, will definitely kill you today. Xiao Yuelon's voice was as cold as ice as she shouted. When she thought about how Qin Yun was taken away by the devil immortal heavenly gates people, she thought about the devil immortal heavenly gates' cruel torture. Anger and killing intent gathered in her heart, and her immortal power fiercely rushed out. Xiao Yuelon's dense killing intent caused everyone to feel fear. They found it hard to understand why a woman would have such a terrifying killing intent. Boom! The long saber slashed out furiously, and the blood light was like a wave. The saber chi transformed into an angry dragon that roared out, and its imposing manner was like 10,000 caddies of thunder. Although they were separated by a few hundred meters, the terrifying power reached the middle-aged Xian immortal in an instant. The middle-aged Xian immortal resisted the incoming saber chi with great difficulty. The veins on his forehead were throbbing, and his face was filled with fear. He felt like he was being enveloped by a dense, killing intent. Roar! Two deafening roars suddenly rang out, as if they were coming from the heavens. A huge black dragon appeared in the sky. It was the enormous, mighty Nether Realm Mad Dragon, and below the ground was a ferocious and brutal Nether Realm Heavenly Lion. Kill! Xiao Yuelon shouted coldly. Monstrous killing intent accompanied by Dragon Lion enveloped the middle-aged Xian Immortal. Seeing these two ferocious nether beasts, everyone once again let out cries filled with fear. Nether Realm Mad Dragon and Nether Realm Heavenly Lion. Just like Xiao Yuelon, they attacked the middle-aged Xian Immortal with endless fury and killing intent. Suddenly, Xiao Yuelon's eyes turned completely red and shot out two red lights. Is that Sacred Pupil? Purple Ice Sacred City's Elder Wu cried out in alarm. It's Sacred Pupil. What kind of Sacred Pupil is it? It seems to have very strong mental power. A Xian Immortal shouted. The red light shot out from Xiao Yuelon's eyes not only contains incomparably strong mental power, it also contains the power of suffering divine ability. After the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gates, middle-aged Xian Immortal's body was illuminated by the red light. He let out a heart-wrenching and lung-splitting scream. That miserable scream, as if he was being tortured, resounded in the sky. Roar! A heavenly lion's heavenly roar interrupted the middle-aged Xian Immortal's miserable scream and slapped him to the ground. The black Nether Realm Mad Dragon in the sky spat out black fiend heavenly thunder and hit the Xian Immortal's body. After a few moves, the middle-aged Xian Immortal was beaten to the ground and screamed miserably. Let's stop here. Purple Ice Sacred City's Elder Wu said indifferently. The Devil Immortal Heavenly Gates, Xian Immortal, did not do anything wrong. He won't be killed. After all, he is a Xian Immortal. Cultivating to this level is not allowed. Shut up! Xiao Yuelon furiously shouted and instantly arrived above the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gates, Xian Immortal. Her angry saber slashed down. Saber energy like thunder tore apart the Xian Immortal's body. Xiao Yuelon is floating in the sky. Below her is a black Nether Realm Heavenly Lion, and above her is a Nether Realm Mad Dragon. She now looks like a peerless witch, especially the cold, killing intent on her body. It made many upper immortals unable to breathe. Xiao Yuelon, kill people. What does it have to do with you? Xiao Yuelon coldly looked at Elder Wu and shouted. So what if you are a sacred, desolate Xian Immortal? Give me another year, and I'll kill you like cutting grass. Elder Wu's expression changed. He clenched his fists tightly and wanted to attack. Seeing Xiao Yuelon's might, he was intimidated. He also has some misgivings in his heart. If he can't defeat Xiao Yuelon and is injured instead, he will lose even more face. I won't lower myself to your level, Elder Wu coldly said. Purple Ice Sacred City's younger generation are all very angry, but they don't dare to fart. 9th level upper immortal with sacred body and sacred spirit. No one dares to come out and fight. Xiao Yuelon looked down from the sky. Her sacred eyes flickered with red light. She scanned those upper immortals from sacred desolate. Her voice is filled with contempt. Elder Wu's expression is unsightly. He glanced at Miss Gao and saw that she slightly shook her head. Although Miss Gao is Xiao Yuelon's elder, everyone can see that a peerless genius like Xiao Yuelon is not someone Miss Gao could suppress. Shimin Xinglian's beautiful eyes flickered with adoration. She now likes Xiao Yuelon even more. Yuelon, let's return to the city. Nangong Shueru lightly shouted. The furious dragon in the sky and the berserk lion on the ground roared at the same time and suddenly disappeared. They were summoned back by Xiao Yuelon. The dense killing intent pervading the heaven and earth gradually dissipated when Xiao Yuelon landed on the ground. That killing intent is nothing but Xiao Yuelon's mental pressure. She can take it back with a single thought. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gates, Xian Immortal, was killed by a 9th level upper immortal without any power to resist. This matter was immediately transmitted to the Devil Mirror. Many people recorded the battle just now, but they could not transmit it to the devil mirror. Moreover, the content with the words Xiao Yuan cannot appear on the devil mirror. This caused many people to feel very regretful because the battle just now was so wonderful, but it could not be spread out. Everyone knows that the Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor and the Guanghan Palace have an agreement, so the Devil Mirror cannot display the content related to the Guanghan Palace's disciples. After Xiao Yuan left, the crowd burst into a heated discussion. That guy from Sacred Desolate is only SOSO. He actually pissed his pants. Haha, those old men of Sacred Desolate are actually afraid of a little girl from the Guanghan Palace. They even said that Sacred Spirit's sacred body is very awesome. It's all bullshit. That's right, Xiao Yuan is truly awesome. She is simply a female devil god, and she's also so beautiful. Trash Purple Ice Sacred City. Not a single 9th level upper immortal accepted the challenge. It seems like they're only SOSO. Xiao Yuan's relationship with Shiman family is pretty good. Shiman family has mastered the technique of subduing inscription beasts. They understand them very well. If they recruit people, they will definitely be very popular. Purple Ice Sacred City lost a lot of face this time, especially Elder Wu. He didn't even dare to fart after hearing Xiao Yuan's words. As for those 9th level upper immortals of Purple Ice Sacred City, they have been reduced to a laughing stock. All day long they boasted that their Sacred Spirit's sacred body is very strong, but no one dared to accept Xiao Yuan's challenge. Earlier, there was a rumor that Xiao Yuan secretly killed several 9th level upper immortals of Great Desert Sacred City, and those upper immortals all have Sacred Spirit's sacred body. Because of this rumor, none of the 9th level upper immortals of Purple Ice Sacred City dared to accept the challenge. Qin Yun is still inside the pagoda. He ate the bottle of pills Nangong Shuru gave him and successfully broke through to 4th level upper immortal realm. From 1st to 3rd level, he cultivated the heavenly Tao, flame's ferocious power, and took the form of a heavenly lion. But now at 4th level, he cultivated the heavenly Tao, flame's ferocious power. Its form is beyond his expectation. It is actually a small flame hammer. This small hammer is still growing. Wait until it reaches 6th level. It should be in its best condition. Qin Yun looked at the small hammer and suddenly felt that it is somewhat familiar. Xiao Yun, that small flame hammer, could it be 9-Sun Divine Hammer? Ling Yun asked. Very likely. Qin Yun is very pleasantly surprised. With a thought, the small flame hammer appeared in his palm. It is only the size of a palm, and there are no runes on its surface. It looks like a baby. Ling Yun said with smile. It seems like wildfire will be used together with 9-Sun Divine Hammer. What a pity, my 9-Sun Divine Hammer needs core fragments to awaken. Qin Yun stored the small flame hammer and took out 5 core fragments. Xiao Yun, I think if you want to break through quickly, you can go and devour those fellows from the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. Ling Yun suddenly said, although the power of those fellows is evil, you have the Nether Sun. You can completely refine it. Moreover, you also have the immortal devil's sacred body. You won't be disturbed by the evil thoughts. Qin Yun looked at the small pagoda and said, it won't be easy to get out. It's very easy. Let Mo come out. Ling Yun said with charming smile. That's right. Qin Yun immediately let Mo run out. Mo has a very small sacred infant fruit. From time to time, she can absorb the power of the sacred infant fruit, so she is gradually becoming stronger and evolving. After this petite and charming little fairy came out, she flapped her pair of translucent butterfly wings. After flying a few circles, her beautiful eyes suddenly shot out 2 white light beams towards the door. Mo can destroy the runes on the barrier and then break the barrier. Very quickly, Mo succeeded. She only needed to destroy a small part of the runes. Qin Yun immediately pushed open the door and went out. Originally, he wanted to put away the pagoda, but he discovered that after the barrier was broken, the entire pagoda became very fragile. The materials are very poor. I mainly rely on the barrier. Qinyan saw that the pagoda is not very good and quickly left. The pagoda was taken very deep underground. When Qinyan drilled out of the ground, it is already late at night. There are many people nearby. Ling Yin'er said, "Could it be that they are looking for that pagoda?" And they're all fellows from the devil immortal heavenly gate. Each and every one of them is covered in evil aura. Qin Yun said with sneer, "Perfect for me to devour." Chapter 1356. Magic Mirror. Chapter 1356. The devil immortal heavenly gate is very concerned about the three Xian immortals. In the Xian province, Xian immortals are very important. Moreover, the three Xian immortals died without any reason, and they even brought along a very important pagoda. They must find it. Everyone knows that the masked uncle was captured by the three Xian immortals. However, now that the news of the three Xian immortals' deaths has spread, many people guess that the masked uncle killed the three Xian immortals. However, this speculation was quickly overturned. Because the masked uncle is only at the second level of upper immortal realm, it is impossible for him to kill three Xian immortals. The devil immortal heavenly gate sent many disciples to search, mainly to find the pagoda and the cause of the death of the three Xian immortals. Originally, after the three Xian immortals captured the masked uncle, the higher-ups of the devil immortal heavenly gate were very concerned and even very happy. They thought that their devil immortal heavenly gate would immediately be able to obtain a few core fragments. But now, three Xian immortals have died. After Qinyan came out, he quickly sent a message to Xiao Yuelon, telling her not to worry. After he drilled out of the ground, he entered a forest and hid in those thick tree trunks. He told Xiao Yuelon that there are many people from the devil immortal heavenly gate searching in the vicinity, so it is not convenient to contact them for a long time, in case they sense any spatial fluctuations. Xiao Yun, those guys have things that can detect soul fluctuations. It was because you didn't hide your soul properly that you were detected by those three Xian immortals. Ling Yuner said. At this time, Qin Yun is also very focused on concealing his soul power. Even so, it is still possible for him to be detected. After Xiao Yuelon learned that Qin Yun is fine, she felt a lot more at ease. She also did not give up on the idea of retaliating against the devil immortal heavenly gate. In the forest, Qin Yun can use the tree totem to merge his body into the big tree, hiding very well. He shuttled back and forth between many thick tree trunks, figuring out how many devil immortal heavenly gate disciples are in the forest and how strong they are. The strongest of the people sent to search are only 6th level upper immortals. Qin Yun thought. The others are all ordinary upper immortals, but if I am surrounded, it will be very troublesome. The devil immortal heavenly gate has many vicious hidden weapons and the like. If one is not careful, they can injure him. Previously, Xiang Yalan was so powerful, but she was still tricked by the devil immortal heavenly gate. Ling Yin said, Xiao Yun, the higher-ups of the devil immortal heavenly gate seem to know that the pagoda is below this mountain forest, so they are wandering around this mountain forest. There are more than 100 of them in total. It's not realistic to kill them all, because if we kill one or two of them, they will notice. Yeah, many of them have pretty good cultivation. If I'm surrounded, I can only run. Qin Yun is somewhat unwilling in his heart, because he really wants to kill all of these 100+ devil immortal heavenly gate disciples. Ling Yun said with smile, Xiao Yun, how about you use a core fragment to temporarily awaken the 9-sun divine hammer and devour those guys? You won't need too much time to kill them. In the remaining time, you can use the 9-sun divine hammer to refine some things. I don't have any more materials on hand. I used almost all of them to forge the heaven and earth demon sealing goblet. Qin Yun frowned. After the 9-sun divine hammer absorbs the core fragment, it will continue to awaken for a period of time. I must make full use of this period of time, otherwise I will waste a core fragment. Ling Yin thought for a moment and said, how about this? You contact Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror and let him tell you the nearby lair of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. After you kill this group of people, go straight to their lair. All right. Qin Yun took out the devil mirror and hid in a tree hole. He is now taking the risk of being discovered to contact Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror. This time, he did not use the Golden Devil Mirror. Instead, he used Qin Yun's identity to contact Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror. Very quickly, Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror accepted the call request. Master. You. Hello. Disciple missed you to death. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror's voice is filled with a trace of fear, he said in panic. Wu shouting, do you think that just because I don't have the memories of my past life, I can't know what happened in my past life? Qin Yun said with mischievous smile. Master, Disciple knows his wrongs. Disciple was just teasing you. Once you recover your memories, won't you have a special souvenir? Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror quickly explained. Moreover, he even wept and said how much he missed his master. Cut the crap. I'm a masked uncle. I want your help. Qin Yun said. What? You are that? Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror cried out in alarm. You want me to deal with the Devil Immortal Great Emperor? I can't do it, I will die. Master, you should know the principle of hiding your strength and biding your time, right? Wait for us to secretly grow stronger, then we will go deal with them. Coward, Qin Yun scolded with a smile and said, you should be able to find out where I am through my Devil Mirror, right? I am currently surrounded by the people of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. I want to kill them and then conveniently destroy their lair in the vicinity. This wait, Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror promptly said, there are 120 disciples of the Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate in the vicinity. The devil mirrors they bought were specially refined by us. Moreover, they have detailed information about them. Qin Yun is secretly delighted. He knew that Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror left something on the Devil Mirror to secretly monitor the movements of many people. No wonder the Guanghan Palace used the Devil Mirror so cautiously. Master, what is your current cultivation? Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror asked. 4th level upper immortal realm. Qin Yun said, that won't do. Those guys have a few 6th level upper immortal realm. It won't be easy for you to kill them. It's too risky. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said, it doesn't matter. I can kill them. Qin Yun is confident that the awakened 9-Sun Divine Hammer is very sturdy. Moreover, it can also increase its power. It won't be a problem for it to kill a 6th level upper immortal. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror suddenly chuckled and said, Master, how about this? I will secretly help you. When you get close to them, I will control their Devil Mirror to explode and injure them a bit, making them let down their guard. There's this kind of operation, Qin Yun said with chuckle. Master, this is something you invented in your past life. If you did not suddenly have an accident, the Devil Mirror you created would be even better. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said with smile, Master, after you recover your memories, you will become an influential person in the Immortal Desolate again. Even those bullshit great emperors will have to kneel and lick your boots. Don't flatter me. I am preparing to take action. Qin Yun said, you can go in peace. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror said with smile. Qin Yun took out a core fragment from inside the tree trunk and placed it inside the 9-Sun Divine Hammer. The pitch-black 9-Sun Divine Hammer suddenly ignited and began burning with flame. Qin Yun, who is holding the Divine Hammer tightly, immediately sensed that the power inside the Divine Hammer is very formidable and ferocious. What caused him to be alarmed is the small flame hammer inside the Nether Sun suddenly ran out and fused with the 9-Sun Divine Hammer. This power is very strong. Qin Yun is extremely apprehensive. The power of the Nether Sun can directly connect to the 9-Sun Divine Hammer. Sensing the formidable power brought by the 9-Sun Divine Hammer, Qin Yun is unable to suppress the excitement in his heart and promptly rushed out. There are 2 second and 3rd stage Ascendant Immortals nearby. They're holding a vibrating Devil Mirror in their hands. Immortal Emperor Devil Mirror deliberately made the Devil Mirror vibrate so that they could hold it. They are very apprehensive seeing Qin Yun rush over. Just as they were about to attack, The devil mirror in their hands suddenly exploded. Because their mental power has to establish a connection with the devil mirror, the sudden explosion of the devil mirror will cause them to have a slight headache, causing them to be distracted. While they're distracted, Qin Yun's sacred eye shot out a white light. His body transformed into a white light and flashed over. Then he smashed down with his hammer. He did not use any formidable power, but when a nine-sun divine hammer smashed down, it produced a very strong, scorching impact power and smashed that ascendant immortal's head, causing sparks to shoot out in all directions. Then he quickly arrived behind the other ascendant immortal and smashed down with his hammer. A third stage ascendant immortal has been instantly killed. I only used Sacred Body's power. I did not release too much Nether Sun's power. Qin Yun once again sensed the nine-sun divine hammer's divine might and became extremely excited. Then he quickly devoured the energy from the two ascendant immortals' Dantian. Sixth stage ascendant immortal is in front. Qin Yun sensed the aura and quickly rushed over. The sixth stage ascendant immortal is a middle-aged man. He sensed someone approaching and was about to attack when the violently vibrating devil mirror in his hand suddenly shattered. While he was distracted, Qin Yun already appeared in front of him. Hua! The nine-sun divine hammer swept out, bringing along a firm and fierce, sharp energy. It actually broke that sixth-stage ascendant immortal's waist. That sixth-stage ascendant immortal is still alive. He is extremely terrified. He never expected that the masked uncle would be so dreadful. Die! Qin Yun smashed down again and killed the sixth-stage ascendant immortal. Then he continued devouring. Qin Yun continued looking for the next one. Late at night, a burst of explosion came from the forest. It is not the sound of devil mirror shattering. It is the sound of nine-sun divine hammer smashing down. Every explosion means that someone from Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate has been killed. In less than half an hour, more than 120 people from Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate have been killed by Qin Yun's nine-sun divine hammer. Moreover, their energy has been devoured. Master, are you really a four-stage upper immortal realm? Although Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor is not nearby, he knows that Qin Yun killed those people from Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. Where is their lair? Qin Yun asked. Nearby, it is a branch of Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. They have more than 300 disciples. All of them are elite disciples. Devil Mirror Immortal Emperor said. They have ninth-stage ascendant immortals. Be careful. After Qin Yun found out the location, he immediately rushed over. That branch is inside a mountain. It has many caves. After Qin Yun went over, he used Earthquake Divine Ability power and caused a 1,000-meter-tall mountain to collapse and crack. Devil Immortal Heavenly Gates people know that they have been attacked. Who dares to be presumptuous here? We are the branch of Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. The person who spoke is a ninth-stage ascendant immortal. His voice is filled with anger as he shouted, Quickly come out. I want you to taste the torture of Devil Immortal Heavenly Gate. The ninth-stage ascendant immortal is floating in the sky. He is very majestic. There are also a few sixth and seventh-stage ascendant immortals beside him. Just as the middle-aged man's expression is filled with power, a transparent bell suddenly dropped down from the sky. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.